Hello, everybody, and welcome. My name is Ketchup, and this is the Injustice 2 Intercontinental Championship. We have one qualifier left to go, and that is going to be EU West. This is going to be a lot more closer to home for Mustard and I, who is just over, I can't tell whether he's this side or that side, so I'm going to go both of them. Hi, Mustard, how's it going, bro?
And before I'm above or below, and that's just completely gone to pot already. But no, I'm really excited for today. I think it's like you said, right? This is the one that's a bit, I suppose you could say, closer to us. So we'll try our best to not be biased for a certain someone that is in the brackets. Those of you that have been following this match, GG, you'll notice that it seems that Foxy Grandpa has come out of his Injustice 2 retirement in what seems to be kind of like the go-to trend right now of retired players continuing to play the game. But of course, this is an opportunity for some of Europe's simply just best talent to come around and get their spot in the Vienna finals. And before we get too underway with the afternoon's action or morning, wherever it is you happen to be watching this, before we get too underway with things, I want to quickly remind those of you watching what the Intercontinental Championship actually is. The Intercontinental Championship will be an 8-man tournament held in Vienna next Saturday, next week, where the winner of that 8-man tournament will get a guaranteed invite to the Injustice Pro Series finals in November. Those 8 players are decided via 4 online cups, where there are the top 2 from each of those cups are in a different region, basically. So we've had Middle East, we've had Australia, Europe East, and now finishing off with Europe West. Top 2 of each tournament will make it to the Vienna finals, where they'll play for that all-important spot into the IPS finals, which we now know where it is, we know what day it's going to be, we know who the competition's going to be, aside from the last chance qualifier in ECT. It is a great time for competitive Injustice as we near the end of the year, and we get oh so close to find out who the new world champion is going to be.
There's a couple of storylines going on today, though. I feel like the big talking point is that because obviously, as far as I'm aware, there's no prize money in the Intercontinental Championship. It's just exists to get players to the IPS finals or give them the chance to do so. This means that players that have already qualified for IPS are not eligible to compete in this championship. So we're not going to see Happy Pal, we're not going to see Irish Mantis, which means that it's basically open season, especially in this tournament, for our European West players. So we have AWP in this bracket. We have Foxy, we have Dizzy TT, we have Derpy, and we have some of the more sort of prominent online players like Heroes NZ, for example, who, Heroes NZ is kind of mad how I've never even seen this guy in real life before. We had our local Hyper Combo Leicester just earlier this week. Heroes NZ just turned up and we just played Mortal Kombat for like 2 hours. What are the chances? So you kind of see these slightly more, I guess, lesser known players coming onto the scene and showing us they're still dangerous and within this kind of top 8 territory. So game number 1, Derpy versus Dizzy. This is definitely going to be one of those kind of battle of the young bloods. Dizzy was, when MKX was out, very, very young. Derpy, not a particularly old player himself, but he definitely started with Mortal Kombat X and came into his element for Injustice 2. You can definitely say that. Robin's been kind of like his main character the whole time. And then we have Dizzy TT, who is one of the youngest players in Europe, one of our youngest players in the scene, kind of within that new age, that wave of the young blood that's taking the IPS by storm this year, with one of the absolute cleanest Catwomans in the world and some of the absolute cleanest gameplay as well.
But Dizzy has very much kind of earned the nickname of Foxy Jr., right? He is kind of like the protege. Foxy really kind of took him under his wing and really taught him how to play at the level he's playing at now. But that being said, of course, we can't give all the credit away. I know Dizzy has definitely been putting in the grind by himself and has competed in numerous IPS events this year and he's like the 9th place curse, right? He consistently finds himself getting really far in tournaments, but just not far enough for the points to count. And of course, Derpy, much the same, but Derpy having a couple more years of competition under his belt. But of course, Robin versus Catwoman, we've seen this matchup before, and it is very slow-paced. If it's played optimally, it's incredibly grounded, it's very footsie-based. It's a question of Robin really having the range and Catwoman having the range in the air, but you can't afford to be in the air because Robin has answers for it. So it's a bit of a very grounded game.
Now, almost immediately, we kind of have... This is a matchup, in fact, that we've seen so many times. Dizzy having that set against Hayate. I believe it was Vianality, where almost every single game was seconds away from being a timeout. It was slowed down to such a snail's pace. I don't see it being as slow here. I think Dizzy's going to be able to sort of condition Derpy a lot better. Dizzy doesn't seem to... He's sort of historically not played his best in tournament. We know he's a solid player. We know he has really solid mechanical fundamentals. But the second the chips are down and we're in this tournament environment, Derpy has kind of had a hard time. The instant jump as the anti-air attempt whiffs, but unfortunately Derpy can't get the anti-air instead. Easy confirms right here. And here we go.
Standard setup. Oh, yeah, delay wake up from Dizzy. I expect we'll be seeing a lot of that the more this set goes on. No whiff punish from Derpy, being hesitant. Oh, the forward dash. Big call out from Derpy, but Dizzy still finding an opportunity. Again, you can see the respect from both players. Oh no, just out of range. Uppercut, almost launched, not quite. But you can really see the respect from both players here, right? Like they are willing to slow it down. They're willing to respect the plus frames, which is what you expect, right? Both of these guys, they've been in the UK scene for a while. I expect they have played a bunch online. And look, almost dead even on the life. And just empty jump into nothing. Both players, not a button press for like almost 10 seconds. Absolute levels of respect that most of us only dream of getting on online fighting games.
You know, watching Dizzy play this game, by the way, the fact that this guy's like, what, 16 or something like that? Like, when I was 16, I wasn't even, I mean, we're not even talking about a level of playing clean. I wasn't this good at fighting games when I was that age. This, like, new generation of player that we have in the NRS scene is ridiculous. Like, the level of play just gets higher and higher as a new generation comes into the fray. It's sick.
I mean, Rewind, right? Our current Evo champion, very much the same age bracket. These guys, you know, Dizzy and Rewind had to fight at Evo, and it was a close game. Like, this is the generation that the NetherRealm community has now, and what an incredible display of just fundamental knowledge and ability to get better as this game is going down super close. We're actually getting close to 100 seconds.
Hey, I believe Dizzy was actually one of Rewind's main training partners during Evo. So we got a clash. That's going to be the benefit of Catwoman. She doesn't really spend a lot of meter on a lot of her game plans, so when she clashes, she generally tends to have stuff to win. Derpy, understanding that, has to keep a bar of his now, and Robin has some of the higher practical damage. If he catches a B&B, you're going to take close to 500, if not 500 plus.
But you're saying that as well, but like, Robin usually kind of needs bar to really get some like big launching opportunities, but Derpy spent so much of his game near this kind of like, you know, the cinema sign for the bounce, so he hasn't actually needed bar. However, is he unclashable? No, there's the clash from Derpy. I think at this point, Dizzy is happy getting the clash out of Derpy, so he doesn't have to worry about it for the rest of the game. Because the health that Derpy will have left is like 1 or 2 maybe big openings for Catwoman. It's going to be over.
2 bars spent. I think Derpy kind of wants to play on the neutral now. He's watching out for those cat scratches. You know, the second Dizzy gets within close range, he's going to have the max cat scratch, big damage, big plus frames he's going to have to respect as well. Derpy, definitely a respectable player, so he's not going to be, I don't think, opened up by regular plus frames, but the threat is there. That's the important thing. Watch out.
Look at the patience from both players. Derpy being really careful on the defense. Again, no buttons pressed, just looking to block.
But he's forcing himself into one of those mix-up situations. Gets the forward 3, manages to catch the full confirm. But another combo drop. Derpy has dropped so many combos in his first game. The game should already be over. No confirm on the down 1-2 either. That's another potential game win. Derpy has lost. Chases down. Doesn't quite get the air tech.
But again, no, on the side of Derpy being careful, not committing to the full string. Both players being so careful. Derpy having a life lead, but as soon as Dizzy gets a bar, it's dangerous. There's the tracking of the trait. Backdash. You know, Derpy wants this. He wants this, but he can't afford to force it.
There's a reason Dizzy's whiffing that one hit mid as well. Like, he is whiffing that because he wants Derpy to press button. The classic bait in this matchup. Gets the escape.
There it is.
Corner escape. Derpy takes game number 1 and 17 seconds short of a timeout. I feel like that's just how this matchup goes. You know, we saw Hayate versus Dizzy. It went the exact same way. Almost every game went to this exact same time frame. It's who can out-patient the other player. And it's, you've got to play so disciplined to get even close to a timeout in this game. I can't even stress that enough.
Oh, definitely. And we've already seen, you know, of course, a huge amount of patience for both players, but also it's not like it's perfect play. Like you said, Derpy did drop a number of combos there and leave a bunch of damage on the table, but ultimately was still able to take the game. And I feel like that's really important for him, is to make those kind of mistakes, but no, it hasn't cost you the game. Because you then go into the next match with a 1-game advantage. Perhaps he's feeling a little bit more comfortable now, so maybe we'll see less of those drops. Of course, Derpy in the P&D guild, shout-outs, represent.
I mean, actually, you know, I didn't even realize that he was still in the guild. I think he's probably got the most playtime out of our P&D guild than anyone in the business. That's my boy. Automatically, will root
the amount
for
of mother boxes he's got me.
Oh, thank you so much. Good guy, Derpy.
But still, again, we're on another stage now. Two-Face waiting in the wings, ready to be bounced off as many times as his cage is for some reason hanging there. I've never understood that, I'll be honest.
Well, you know, he will be a harm to no one if he's up there. Maybe there's a canon reason, but I don't know.
Okay, well, Derpy still taking the life lead for now, but I mean, I feel like even this kind of small life lead, normally I wouldn't say is a big deal, but in this kind of matchup, when both players are playing at the pace they are, I feel like any life lead is something you can hold on to, right? And it really, especially as someone like Catwoman, you're really forced in a situation to try and seize it back. However, Derpy in the corner, and now, for the first time, Dizzy's able to chase down that corner, but not able to get a full punish on the interactable, so Derpy, one slightly, but not.
There was a really good interruption, but again, Derpy not really hit confirming that down 1-2, but there's some knowledge. Ooh. I assume actually that button to make the dive kick win probably matchup specific. Down 1-2, crushes the back 3. No armor for you, mate. Here comes the knockdown. Pressure game. Wonderful. Did he wake up? But he just eats the overhead. Very surprising Dizzy would just eat that raw. Maybe he expected a low, expected a sweep, and just paid the price.
It may have been a backdash attempt from Dizzy. Dizzy has been going for wake up backdash at any range but point blank, and perhaps this is the first time that Derpy was able to kind of move in and maybe try and do something about it. But regardless, Dizzy getting a combo here towards the mid screen.
I like that ender actually, to stay mid-screen, stay within range, so the interactable was a threat as well. Great positioning, nice punish. Derpy playing so clean. This is a level of clean play that we just haven't seen from Derpy in so long in tournament. We've always known in casuals he has what it takes to do this kind of stuff, but he chokes in tournament almost all the time. I don't want to jinx it, but it looks like right now he's playing clean.
Oh, the wake up down 1. Now we're starting to see levels of disrespect. So this is when you evolve from the point of absolute discipline and patience to every now and then just throw a spanner in, right? Something a little bit out of the ordinary. You know, wake up with buttons every now and then.
I wish I feel like he's only been able to confirm 1 down 1-2 so far. He's hit like 3 in this game, not even 4 in fact, and 3 of them have been left on the table. But this is a constant problem. Derpy, he plays so well in the neutral.
It's actually really hard to do that though.
It's the little bits of extra. Like... If you're a Robin main, right? You need to have that lockdown. Like, have to.
Yeah, but sometimes you'll just look for down 1-2 just to kind of occupy just on block, right? You might just be looking for them to block it and just simply not ready for it to hit. Like, especially in this kind of match.
I feel like as a Robin player, it really is your responsibility to always be ready.
Ooh. Still remembering. Getting the red trait.
He's out of there. Just wake up.
Again, Derpy went from having a huge life lead to now, I mean, thanks to this combo, is going to do well, but Dizzy not able to clash at all. He doesn't have the meter plus frames. The respect. Oh, wait a minute. The second he goes for it, meter burn back through. The first one we've seen of Dizzy in these 2 games is connected.
You just have to watch out. Wonderful push block. Yeah, I love it. Push block into meter burn roll. That was the Foxy tech right there. The almost guaranteed corner escape. You've got to be so ready. But the instant jump 1 reaction should be close to the game over.
No, he doesn't have the bar. Oh, enough chip damage, thanks to saving the trait until the very last second. Dizzy. I mean, actually really impressive stuff from Dizzy. I think Derpy had quite a big life lead towards that first life bar, but was quickly able to be stitched up. Dizzy bringing it back.
I feel like the reoccurring issue that we are seeing here is the lack of confirming that down 1-2. Like, I know it's difficult and it is quite tricky to pull off, but I don't know, man. I feel like there were so many down 1-2s that landed that could have been a full combo that... Just think of how many times he could have either got a better situation or damage. The damage that Dizzy had left would have been long gone. Also, big thing, I don't know why he didn't push block at the end of that game. I don't know why he didn't do that.
I will be honest, I mean, perhaps it was a slight miscalculation on the chip damage there. I feel like it's almost unfair to put all of that as like a negative to Derpy, considering it was mainly due, in my opinion, due to how well Dizzy played it. I feel like that was much more of a positive to Dizzy in the way he was able to adapt and clean his play up and almost play around Derpy a lot better than he was at the start, than it is for us to just say, oh, Derpy lost that for himself. You know what I mean? I feel like that's more of a positive to Dizzy in the sense that he was able to tie up from being behind as opposed to Derpy making mistakes.
Well, that's always the classic thing where mistakes combine with excellent play. You know, what do you kind of pin it on? Either way, it's going to be 1-1. So definitely back and forth. This isn't even matchup. I was kind of sort of maybe expecting Dizzy to take this a bit easier.
Hang on a minute.
Oh, no, Derpy, don't do it again. We know you have the execution, but in tournament, it just seems to fail him so consistently.
I mean, we definitely see every Robin player drop that back 3 from time to time. The question is to make sure that the drop doesn't kind of linger with you, right? Like drops are drops. It happens to everyone eventually. You have to make sure it doesn't affect your play too much, and make sure, especially, that you don't do it again. All the teleport, but Dizzy ready. This will be quite an interesting stage. There's no background bounce, but there is the mobility.
Indeed,
and really get a lot from it.
Yeah, both nimble characters, not really going to be able to sort of get rid of it particularly. Oh, good bait on the wake up, but no punish. Okay. Very, I would say, even life beforehand until Derpy got opened up, and now he's in that really bad situation. Delayed wake up into button press. I can only assume he tried to do it again. I respect that wake up at the end, because if you're going to die anyway, why not just try and go for something? But this is a great situation for Dizzy, and he's not even trying to confirm into the air-to-air combo. He just wants to get the knockdown, keep the presence, and he's still in control. You know, he took that poke, yeah, but who cares? Minimal damage. Okay. All right, repositioning, good stuff from Derpy. Very smart decision, but look at how much life he has to come back.
I think the priority there 100% was just getting out of the corner, right? Oh, but there's a big whiff punish. Derpy has all the bar in the world, deciding not to clash. He's going to hold on to it. Oh, and then wake up again. And the interrupt on the gap. Dizzy.
That's so good.
That's optimal stuff coming out from Dizzy there. Derpy left with not a lot of life left whatsoever. Has the clash, but at this point of health, I mean, Catwoman, she doesn't exactly do no damage when it comes to unclashable.
For sure. And
situations.
The thing is, you can tell they run this matchup regularly. You know, the thing about Dizzy and Derpy, both UK boys, they both play online regularly. I have no doubt they play against each other, so this has to be a matchup they're familiar with. And what a clean air-to-air. Catwoman, man. Her range is so sick that if she touches you, you're pretty safe to assume she's going to get a full combo. And this character has never not been excellent. What a good matchup.
Absolutely, but that was much more of a switch. I think that's what happens when almost like the momentum completely shifts. I feel like Derpy having the upper hand in the second game for so long and slightly creeping away from him almost seemed to seep into that third match, where we saw a lot of those errors from Derpy that we hadn't seen before, really, in terms of how many there were. Into obviously getting back to the wall. Catwoman's corner pressure is still pretty disgusting. Especially someone like Dizzy, right? That he's going to know not to extend. Dizzy's corner pressure is actually very reminiscent of Foxy's corner pressure, in my opinion, in a sense that it's kind of like, you know, built around staggers or just making you feel like you have an opening to get out, but then taking that away from you immediately and punishing you for it. I feel like Dizzy's definitely got that kind of ability down now, and because obviously it's Catwoman doing it, even more terrifying.
I must admit, I feel like gameplay-wise, Dizzy is starting to play a little bit cleaner, and Derpy, it's actually kind of falling apart a little bit for him. It almost looks like he's becoming a little bit more nervous, and this has been...
No, I don't think it's nerves.
No, I don't know, man. I feel like the combo execution for me is nerves. Like, there's some misplays here. He's not clashing when he should. Again, extreme lack of push block. I feel like this is just a level of miscalculation that I'm confident Derpy doesn't normally make those bad calls, because we've seen him play online over and over again. But either way,
the life feed for Dizzy ready, and unfortunately for Derpy, going to result in him being cornered again, and this is where he lost almost an entire bar of life last time for reads exactly like that. And that's what I said before, right, about just giving you an opening or making it look like you have an opportunity to do something to get out of the situation, and then taking it away straight away. Dizzy did exactly that with the neutral jump, and has put himself to match point, as he's just one life bar away from making winners finals. And remember, it's top 2 today, managing to make Vienna finals. So he's one match away from winners finals, which is one match away from being in Vienna.
Now, this is really unfortunate for Derpy, because again, he's been kind of going back into the sort of the classic wake-up system of not really sitting there and blocks, not almost being confident in his defense. That's now 2 wake-ups, but here comes the pressure.
Okay.
Excellent stuff. Good knockdown into what's next. Meaty jump 3. Much plus frames. Okay, gets that, but the block doesn't want to spend the bar. I wonder if Dizzy would have had tech to get around meter burn anyway, but watch out. Got to hold these plus frames. Could have been a great round. Doesn't want to pull the trigger on that button. Oh, it's anti-air! No! Gets the anti-air stuffed, and this is just bad news central. Poor Derpy, man. He worked so hard for that.
Well, I think it could be worse. He has to clash, has to. But now the question is, what does Dizzy do here? Because if he spends a lot of bar to stop Derpy healing, he's going to have nothing left himself. But he will. 3 for 3. Dizzy fancies his chances. Oh, clean anti-air.
Empty jump into button press, knowing he's going to establish respect. Again, tries to down 1-2. And that's unfortunate. Game over. Dizzy is going to take that right over Derpy, and a really impressive turnaround, to be completely honest. I kind of feel like for poor old Derpy, it just fell apart, didn't it?
Yeah, I feel like a big part of that, though, was just Dizzy beginning to make some, like, big reads, but it was consistently paying off, which I feel was giving Dizzy more confidence and almost, like, you know, shooting down Derpy somewhat. I think Derpy played well, but I feel like Dizzy just got better and better as that set went on, and finds himself comfortably in winners finals. And we know that Dizzy is definitely one of the favorites today. I feel like there is no getting around that. I feel Dizzy has been just going from strength to strength this year. He hasn't had the showings that, you know, we know he wants to have and he believes he's capable of. And it's not through lack of trying. You know, he's been at numerous events this year. Is taking down some seriously strong competition, but always managing to fall short somehow. And I feel like the Intercontinental Championship really is his saving grace. It's his last chance to show that he can make it into the IPS. And with a strong win like that over an opponent like Derpy, then that's a good way to start. Absolutely.
I mean, Dizzy, he's had so many opportunities to play at high level, and he's given some amazing displays, right? Like, he's had some really excellent sets. I actually even remember about Evo, one of the main things, there's a funny story about Evo that a lot of you guys might not know. I was talking to both Rewind and Dizzy about this, actually, the year Rewind took the win and won the whole thing. It was essentially what happened was Rewind was concerned about Buffalo's Sub-Zero. For whatever reason, I don't know whether he would lose to it online or something like that, but I know that Rewind was concerned about Buffalo's Sub-Zero play. So essentially, Dizzy and Rewind were talking, saying, well, if I play... they would sort of play each other for different bits of experience, but the plan was, the chat was, if Dizzy could just defeat Buffalo and keep him away from Rewind, Rewind had a really good chance of doing well. So even though Dizzy didn't win the tournament, he kind of like, as far as their partnership goes, Dizzy was kind of able to at least do that job, which was actually a really sick set. That wasn't on stream, but I was sitting behind when they did it. It was a really, really, really sick match. But it was just one of those sort of like funny turn events, really, how there's a lot of history between Dizzy and Rewind because they kind of are different territory versions of each other. They're young talent, they're up and coming players, and they're getting better and better as tournaments go on. And I feel like there's so much potential with a player like Dizzy at this stage. But that is going to be this game done and dusted. We're going into our second match of the top 8 now, which is going to be Orp from Scotland versus Foxy Grandpa, who has come back with a week's preparation just for this tournament.
So this is going to be one to watch, absolutely. So it's going to be the competitive return of Foxy. He hasn't really competed or been serious with Injustice since I think it was Vianality. When he didn't do as well as that's basically it. When he didn't do very well at Vianality, he basically took that decision. He'd been on the fence for a while and he was kind of like, okay, fair enough. That's me done with Injustice for now. And he was planning on taking a back seat. However, with the announcement of the Intercontinental Championship, he was like, screw it. Let me just grind and see what I can do. And as a player that was as strong as he is, I highly value and fancy his chances of doing well here, especially against someone like Orp, right? Orp has been grinding this game. He is Scotland's best player. He has been really just passionately looking to prove himself in Injustice 2. He hasn't quite had the opportunity yet. He didn't do as well as he wanted to a versus fighting. He managed to get top 8 in the IPS Online Cup, but the Intercontinental Championship is his chance to really prove himself the way he's been wanting to.
He's been getting experience as we go. Against Foxy, it's quite a tall order. Even what's essentially retired Foxy is still going to be a hard opponent. This guy did get second place at the World Championship, and he gets the right direction. But no, actually blocks the right way, and then just eats what comes next. Foxy with the confirm. Combo drop, but okay, here comes the pressure. Staggers as well, and a little bit of a slowdown. Don't know what happened there, but looks like Foxy dropping a few combos.
Orp able to get a really nice conversion though, regardless. Perfect range dependent. Full punish. You're gonna have to be so careful with those molten traps against Batman when he's got any form of trait. There's the vortex. And there it is. Oh, the Foxy vortex.
But I don't understand. Like he's guessing the right direction, but he's guessing the right direction, but he is getting hit by the follow-up string. So I'm not really sure what he's trying to challenge with. Unfortunately, he's going to lose the second round, but that's going to be good. Still, great positioning, has him in the corner. Oh, my God. It's that raw jump in too. Foxy with the conversions. Here we go. What's next?
Oh, he just walked back. Definitely showing signs of being uncomfortable getting out that setup there for the wake up. Oh, wow, the back two. Trying to whiff punish, but rolling straight out of the way. Oh, no, not quite full screen punish. Oh, interrupting. I feel like Orp just isn't able to get any form of advantage whatsoever here. Just the Batman trait is just denying it every time.
There's so many different strings going on at once. It may look scrambly, but I feel like there's so many potentials that Batman could jump. He could throw out one of his many strings. He could release Bat. It looks scrambly, but as long as you don't get full combo, that's still going to be a victory for you. Now, he has the neutral. He's going in for the max trait. That's going to be health regeneration. Wonderful air to air. Okay, here comes Orp. He's going to get a mix up here. It's going to be
okay. Yep, just goes in for a throw instead. Wants to just hit the life lead and sit on it, I think. One trait ready for Foxy. Is it enough? Oh no, the trade. Good trade for Foxy. As it was safe from Molten Trap. Wonderful air. Anti-air. Orp. No bar left though. Foxy. 5 all away. Oh wow, just missing. The read was there from Orp. Trailblazers just didn't connect.
Now one more clean hit, one more projectile, and there it is. Molten Trap going to keep Foxy in check. Now, the very obvious thing about that game was there were quite a lot of combo drops from Foxy that kind of resulted in losing positioning, losing pressure, and Orp just playing around it really well. Batman's a character you can have a lot of experience against. Actually blocked the vortex correctly, but ate the follow-up string. So I'm not really sure what happened there. The first couple of times he actually took what was basically unnecessary damage because he blocked the hard bit and then would essentially get hit by the easy bit, right? So if he just cleans that up, who knows? Maybe this could be a 3-0 on the side of Orp. Like he's prepared, right? He's been grinding so hard for this, and Foxy, there's no getting around the fact that he's come back with about a week's worth of practice just for this tournament. So I would definitely favor Orp in this situation.
I feel like there's only so many understanding you can do though. Like at the end of the day, you said it earlier, right? This is still Foxy. This is still second place at the World Finals last year. This is still many-time major champion, right? Foxy has been around for a very long time. And I think even a week for him just to get back into shape is enough for him to just still realize, what he needs to do. The biggest thing that's letting him down is 100% this execution. Execution is the biggest thing letting him down. Considering Batman, when he gets any hits, should be turning it into potentially a life bar if he's got the train to go.
But I mean,
dropping a combo is going to get rid of all of that.
At the end of the day, though, that's what's going to happen when you're rusty, right? Execution and combo execution when someone as fiddly as Batman, that's going to happen. But what's the mix-up? Oh, the late cross-up! Or eating that one for breakfast, but that's why we talk about execution with Batman, though, because if you get your combo, all trip vortex, you get absolute vortex reset, and that is why you have to nail it. Spending a bar, what's it going to be? In front, behind? Oh, I don't even know, to be honest.
That was in front. That was in front. That hit in front and landed behind. Orp just got mixed so hard. That's the hardest kind when he hits one side but lands the other. That's the true mess right there. Orp, he's getting a couple of.
He has no reason to overextend here, right? That's why Foxy was sitting there. But the second he presses a button, he walks right into Molten Trap anyway. Orp now, he's going to get mixed up. Has a vortex of his own. And off! Guesses wrong. Full launch. And to be honest, oh no! Undo. I don't know what happened there. Another drop. A sloppy city, but he's going to get it anyway. One full turnaround. And that's what happens, right? When one vortex character meets another. Definitely not used as an overhead that poke. It was used to outspeed Batman's mid. And it worked. Expecting maybe some challenge. Ooh.
And again, drop close enough.
Right, there's the confirm.
Oh no, and another drop. Again, I feel like we've seen like 2 combos completed from both players this time.
It almost feels like, to me, it almost feels like the real 50-50 is Foxy going to finish his combo or not?
Back, going in with it. Oh, the Trailblazer a little bit too eager there, and that's going to be damage. Oh,
God.
Oh,
so
man.
Good.
We're so used to seeing Foxy end every touch in less damage vortex, but it makes you forget how much damage this character can still actually put out.
Well, either way, that's going to be 1-1. It's such a weird situation to play, isn't it? Because it's when one vortex character meets another. You can't really, you almost like have to ignore health bars, because if Firestorm has level 3 and he lands an opening, it doesn't matter how much health he's got, because he can easily kill you in one sequence. But then again, so can Batman. That's why combo drops are the biggest, most costly thing in this matchup.
But that also means you have to be so careful when you're deciding what to do in the neutral, because all that entire ending there from Orp came from him basically just doing like an instant air trailblazer. I don't really know what he was looking for, aside from that, perhaps like maybe a preemptive jump from Foxy. But if you see Batman jump, like just get out of the way or attempt an anti-air. I feel like that kind of read is almost what's going to be really dangerous moving into the rest of the series, unless it starts to work. But I don't think Foxy's the kind of guy to get hit by that and then respect it more. He's going to know what's kind of like a, not a conventional option versus what you should be doing more of. But Orp taking a massive life lead, but an instant drop. Wake up down 2. Okay, having a pipe for the forward 3. There's the reset. Now we were talking about ignoring health bars. This might be the reason. Finally gets a good block. Ooh, the armor breaking down one of the Starfish. Hello. That's a good round number 1 for Orp. It's pretty much, far away from Foxy too.
It's one snowball effect versus another. That's what this matchup is. It's so explosive, so quick. Draw back.
Okay, this is going to start off the bat, so it's going to scale a bit more. But he has got the bar for the vortex, but no bat. That's just going to be a straight up jump in. Orp going to be able to get it this time. Definitely reactionary. Just because there is a vortex doesn't mean that it can never be reacted to. Oh, and another. Those big meter burn back 3s. Orp is getting so many.
He's playing exceptionally well in this game. Like, really chasing down Foxy. He's trying to be so slippery, but... Oh, no. Tries to go for the double forward 3, but to be honest, yeah, after that drop, I don't even think it matters. This really is his game to win. Guaranteed. Yeah, Foxy not really going to try and fight that one. And have a look at that. Orp just needs one more game. He's actually going to be winners finals against Dizzy. This could be potentially a close one, or it's going to end on a 3-1. I gotta say, I just, by the looks of things, it just looks like Orp is more prepared. So if he wins this, it's one of those things where it's like, so be it, man. If he's been grinding hard, that he's hungry for this. Orp has fallen short, throughout the online IPS cups and sort of some of the online exhibitions that have been taking place. This is basically his last chance this year to prove to the world that his grind has been, turning him into this crafted top player. And he's been sticking with Firestorm since day 1. He has been non-stop playing this game. He's been so passionate about being an Injustice 2 player in Europe, which is kind of hard to come by sometimes these days, I have to say. Orp is that perfect example of someone that is hungry to compete and is starting to do well tournament after tournament. Is it going to be a 3-1, or do you reckon we're going to see a 3-2?
I think it depends whether Foxy can clean up what's going on for him here. I feel like there has been a lot of errors, there has been a lot of kind of like questionable choices on defense and stuff like that, right? Reactionary instant jump one more because Foxy's just going to that kind of like float mid-screen. I feel like Orp is playing around Foxy a lot better than Foxy's playing around Orp right now.
Oh yeah, but it just goes into preparation. I just feel like Orp has been more prepared for this matchup. Now he's going to get pressure, so much neutral jump pressure as well, challenging it as well. Back-to-back starfish, just Foxy cannot press a button, getting completely overwhelmed. No whip punish, but at this stage, I don't think it matters at all. All right, jump in.
But yeah, I think he maybe attempted a last-minute anti-air, but Malgus can lose out. Here's the restand. Yeah, I think that was a pretty obvious cross at that time. And Orp getting it so close. Instant.
Oh, good God. Okay, here we go. Orp now, match point. Just needs one more, take Foxy down into losers. Where Orp could be one game away from qualifying for the Vienna finals. Sick stuff.
Just a little bit too far out of the way, but still able to get a hit for it. Corner. Restand. He doesn't have a bat. He's going to go for some hit advantage here. And Orp just caught straight up in the corner. Wow.
I forgot Batman could do that. I forgot he could do that. That was so much damage off of what would otherwise be a confirmed dependent. Uh-oh. Armor broke, but a combo drop again from Foxy. Story of his life right now.
Wow, one bat went towards and one bat went behind. That was the optimal kind of chase down opportunity for Foxy. Wow.
Okay, reset.
Oh, he does.
He's going to get a bat now. Not a bad choice, actually. I like that from Orp. He actually opts to go for a flash to remove the mix-up. Go back into full screen. Orp has been playing really well in this neutral. Foxy's been struggling to approach, and it's got the bat! Tries to do a late anti-air. Pay the price! What? A galactic instant jump trailblazer was that?
Foxy, I mean, he hasn't had a bat for a while. This trait has taken a long time to come back, so Orp, his traits almost ran out. The best thing about that trait was how much health he was able to get back. So
he gets the mix-up! Wow, he's still got it!
Yeah.
My God, what's going on? All right, reset. This could be the game-winning reset here. Oh, wrong side.
There's to be one more. There's to be one more. What's it going to be?
All right, one more guess.
Guess for game. Guess for game. Oh no, he's going for the hit advantage. Push block, very good. Give him breathing room at least. Oh, again, plus frames. Disrespect the plus frames, and that is going to be it. If he doesn't drop it, no. And it all came down to plus frames being disrespected. Orp is going to pay the price. I find that was such a dangerous end as well for both players. Foxy came so close. I mean, it's always dangerous, right? When you're on the receiving end of a Firestorm who's pop level 3 and he's not in a situation that, you know, he isn't able to get any kind of opportunity to launch or molten trap or anything. Foxy able to keep himself together despite being against the wall for almost the entire time.
But this really does. That was so close to being a 3-1, right? And Orp just kind of breezing into winners finals. But that's the strength of a momentum style character. Batman touches you. If he's got bat, if he's got bar, you have to guess. You have to guess which side he's going to go. Batman used to be seen as this massive footsies, you know, rush down heavy character, and he just evolved into this vortex machine. I even remember the vortex being supposedly nerfed.
I think supposedly is the right word there, because if a vortex is a vortex, it's still strong. Doesn't matter how you do it. Oh, and again, no, but that one I can understand because those trait bats have such little block stun. You almost can try and sneak the button in. Oh, the parry! Oh, what a punish! Too cute. Foxy being too cute. Watch out! Oh, no, he finds the gap.
Wow, Batman always finds a way, right? Give this man preparation time. Wait a minute, there's an invincible wall there.
Attempts the instant air to air again. Instant jump light. Orp's been trying to use it so many times, but this time it trades. I wonder if that's going to knock his confidence going for it again. He has level 3 trait ready to go. Ideally, isn't going to want to pop that until the second life bar, but might have no choice at this rate. Just get some health back. Oh, another drop from Foxy. On the backdashing, unintentional resets. The one resets, and he goes for an air tech, spending so much of his bar for no avail. He's still badly down. This is a unfortunate turn of events. He's gone for 2 air techs that I really disagree with. Push block just to keep some real estate, but look at the health difference, man. I wonder if this is going to be game over. Then again, this Firestorm, maybe he can vortex him, maybe he can catch that one hit, but he's got no bar. He's only just built 1 bar for a stun, and he has so much life left to go. I think if he can get this life bar off Foxy and then save some bar for a vortex, that's his best chance. But it's going to be difficult. Considering Foxy, he hasn't got trait, he has got 2 bars.
He wasn't ready for Foxy to get hit by that starfish either. He had already dedicated to the down 1, probably expecting it on block.
Oh, there it is, reversal trailblazer.
All right, I mean, all right.
I feel like that was dangerous because I don't think it would have done enough damage on block, but it's something. It's got the life bar off.
I definitely say, look at the trait, right? Orp's objective is going to be to build level 3. He needs max trait with punish, and now he's got level 3. This is exactly what he needed.
Can he end it a restand? Will he? No, he gets the trait. Another level 3 built. Orp has managed to get 2. Oh, there it is. No punish from Foxy. That could be disastrous.
What is going on here?
Orp. He flew off it. Not quite enough. 2 traits. Oh no, both of them.
Foxy being really impatient right now. A couple of forward dashes. This is such a weird end.
Lost frames again. Orp respecting this time.
Really scared. The down one. Foxy, what are you doing? What are you doing? He tried to go for the unclashable, but like that was never going to work. He should have saved the bar, surely.
But has given Orp an opportunity to get back in. He hasn't got flash, but he does have actually no trait either. Both players are completely starved of resources. This is a bat. If Orp gets hit by anything, it's going to be over.
Oh no! There it is! Live by it, die by it. He molten traps for the poke right as Foxy jumps in. Oh my god, that's got to be the messiest.
That wasn't. No, I don't want to interrupt, but I feel like that wasn't just a molten trap. That was he molten trapped right as Foxy had forward dashed. So Foxy was able to cover so much space with a forward dash, forward jump, and it was just in range to just give him a big old heel to the face. Doesn't matter. That's going to be a jump in, and just like that, Foxy is able to just claw his way back in. Through thick and thin, bring himself into winners finals, where he's gonna be playing against Dizzy. Wow, that was what we were hoping to see for sure.
It's a bit crusty than I was expecting to see, but like, I mean, like, not to discredit. By no means do I want to do that. You know, these guys they played well enough for a winners finals situation, which we'll have next between Dizzy TT and Foxy Grandpa. That's going to be actually, you know, that is a clear example of, you know, Foxy Grandpa and his protege coming in, and it's like the 2 generations of high-level UK NRS, right? So that's going to be a sick match. But I just feel like for Orp, it's really unfortunate that the big thing to me, which I'm totally prepared to be wrong about this, but the main thing I noticed there was Orp essentially mismanaged his level 3 trait. And I'm not sure if you picked up on that as well, Mustard, but what we saw there was so many situations where he had level, right at the end, that last round, his goal, his objective was to build level 3 trait, build it up. And then the second you've got it, confirm into it and go for what is essentially the best vortex in the game. Now, we saw Orp land a hit, land an opening, land a molten trap. He had his trait ready, and he went for a knockdown and then popped it, rather than the combo conversion into down 2. You know, you go for down 2 into trait, and that's what you go for, right? So I feel like the crucial time Orp popped level 3 in that final match, he popped it at a time that was the least impactful, and Foxy didn't really have to worry about it. And I feel like that actually kind of started the downward spiral of defeat, which is what we saw. But either way, we're going into our loser side matches now. Winners finals is locked in and ready to go. Darth Malgus, I believe this is from one Batman to another, right? We're going to be seeing some more Batman gameplay.
Presumably, according to Smash GG, he did use other characters as well, but of course it's going to be mainly Batman we expect. And I must be honest, I've actually never seen Fly play before, so I'll have a quick look at his bracket and look at what his path was like, and then see what it was. Okay, here he is, Fly. Looks like it might be a Black Adam. Yeah, I believe Fly might be a Black Adam player, as I think that looks like that's mainly who he's been playing. Who did he lose to in winner side? He came close to winner side, top 8. He lost to Dizzy 3-0, but he did defeat Heroes NZ, winner side. So it looks like, all Black Adam from Fly, so that's what we're expecting, 100%.
Well, we're probably going to be going, I think, a step back in time. And yeah, that's the crazy thing about this part of the world, is that it really feels to me like, even though Black Adam is such a sick character and he's so strong in the game, we don't really see him picked much over this side of the pond. I don't know what it is about this character, but he just doesn't seem to be very popular, right?
Not anymore, but those that do play him and stick with him are like still really, really dangerous players. But I was actually saying this last time, with Mitsu on the Middle Eastern Cup. I feel like that's the case for a lot of characters in this game. There are a number of characters that are like so solid, so sound, but just don't get a lot of representation. I feel Black Adam has it. It's not like he hasn't got any players. I think it's still a strong look for it. Big wake up, risky wake up from Malgus, but he does have the bats behind him now. It's a combo. And that's exactly the kind of wake-up you want to look for, right? When the wake-up just, even if it didn't connect, he had the traits ready to go, so he was able to beat the way in, and it has resulted in Fly being cornered, and he's got some Batman corner pressure.
Well, here comes Black Adam, repositioning with the forward 3, very classic stuff. And Black Adam, and I gotta say, actually, that's some really sick gear. I always point out in these online tournaments because you very rarely get to see players use the gear they really like, because offline it goes into tournament mode, the randomizer, all that stuff. But we get to see some really sick customizations in this cup. Oh, wake up trait, I mean, that's just a classic, isn't it? Undeniable damage, completely guaranteed. If he has that trait ready, have to respect it, man. There's that forward 1-2 connecting fully. And right now, Fly looking fully in control of the set, I have to say.
Seems that way for now. I feel like it's going to be a question of whether Batman can actually get Batman games going, you know? Because I feel like this isn't a terrible stage for it, but at the same time, like, Black Adam, he's such a stressful character to fight a lot of the time anyway. I think the biggest problem he's going to have is obviously, like, he has a wake-up, like, he has a lightning cage, but it doesn't have a lot of invincibility. It's quite easy to stuff. So he doesn't have the greatest wake-up options. So even if Batman decides to let you wake up, he's still quite a hard character to deal with on him, unless you have a good wake-up attack to kind of deal with it.
Hey man,
Black Adam.
Let's never forget about the wake-up that's not a wake-up, but it's definitely a wake-up. It's a wake-up up Batarang. Forever king. Hello.
Wake-up up rank is like the ultimate. Oh, but that just connected. I wonder if that was like a down 2 attempt maybe from Fly.
Opting to keep the positioning, actually, not going into the reset situation, wants to kind of keep that presence with the bat. Goes in for a jump 3, so it's going to completely miss. Fly taking big damage in a very short space of time. Regular basket, gotta watch out. Tries to respect the jump in, but just eats the low completely. And now knocked down. No clash from either side again. It's both players trying to save their meter. I always feel like it's very fortunate that neither player has actually clashed in this game, because they're both almost going for the same thing. Use the bar for the neutral, for the damage. Who cares about clash? One of them's going to regret it, that's for sure. Uh-oh. Probably Fly. Oh, no.
Well, look at that chip. The second Malgus builds that bar, he's going to be in chip damage territory, but there's the big knee button kick. Wait for it. Oh, tried to trip guard, was a little bit late. Out of range again, but not enough damage. Oh,
disrespect! But again, no!
Oh, and there it is.
God.
Yeah. I was saying before, right, the second Malgus was able to build bar, that was going to be almost guaranteed death territory. As soon as the Batarang's out into play, and it was very close to not happening, but never say never. Able to keep it going at the very end.
I think the benefit that Batman will have as a character is that he is, I mean, for me, it goes into actually just good character design. That this character is so versatile that essentially it's very easy to pretty much point out who is playing Batman. You can sort of really put your own stamp on Batman. You can tell a Forever King Batman. You can tell a Foxy Batman. You know, a Nubcakes Batman, for example. So if you're trying to prepare for someone in tournament, it's not just, oh, I'm going to get Batman experience, because he's so unpredictable. And Darth Malgus, I mean, this Batman is entirely different to the one we just saw from Foxy, right? Like, it's so hard to prepare for this character. He's one of the best tournament characters in the game for that reason, in my opinion.
Yeah, I feel like he's absolutely, you know, you could say the most versatile character in the game. I think he really has an option for everything. He's a very all-rounder character. Oh, and there it is, that wake-up not working whatsoever. Whatsoever to get down to. But I feel like Batman really is just one of those most versatile choices. And what a setup! Wacky stuff coming out from Fly.
That for me was an Injustice 1 setup, right? That sort of like last-minute cross-up jump, and he's eating everything. No confirm, though, from Fly. Trying to keep the restand situation instead. That was either a drop or he just wanted to keep Batman standing up. Either way, it was actually working out for him really well. And good block. Definitely fuzzying that forward 3, was crouching first, stood up on reaction, but going in for some of those staggers. Malgus was not ready for that to connect, I don't think, and disrespecting the frames right when it is the most punishing. Oh, watch out for that truck.
Oh, wow, that down one was crucial, because I think that was almost guaranteed to be trait death there, in combination with the chip damage that was following it. So Malgus able to get the first life bar, but another close game. I wonder if this is going to be the kind of what we expect to see for the rest of this. I feel like Fly's defense has been really good. The main thing that's kind of holding him back is whenever he tries to get his offense going, I don't think that Malgus is really getting opened up anyway, either in return. Because almost every kind of big substantial hit that he's got has been one of those kind of like really weird setups, those kind of last-minute cross-ups.
There it is. Wake up, Batarang. If you're going to jump in late, you're going to pay the ultimate price. And one thing about Malgus we're pointing out here, I think, is that he's not really dialing into a lot of things, right? He's so heavily built around the individual hits, the staggers. So when he lands an opening or gets a jump in, he's actually not getting any combos for it, because he's already decided that when I do this jump in, I'm going to do one button. And oh, the delayed string. That was some tech. If you wake up Lightning Cage, you'll stuff it anyway. Such a deliberate button press there. Definitely calculated.
Well, I think Fly, he has no choice but kind of respect that, because that's 2 for 2 now. Both times he's gone for Wake Up Lightning Cage, it has been not only just baited, but punished immediately. Like, Malgus just isn't letting him get away with it. Now he's on the defense again. But look at the blocks.
Very good.
And Fly, he doesn't have push block. It has to be just say it has no choice but just be good old-fashioned block what you see. He didn't have the push block, but he does now. Oh, but there it is.
I think that was your fault there, Jake. I think the second you pointed out how good his blocking was, he ate a forward 3.
Batman wins.
That's commentator's curse to the absolute maximum.
I mean, I should feel bad, but I don't.
Ha! Got him. Either way, 2 games down is just really solid play, in my opinion, to be completely honest. I actually really like Malgus there. There was a little bit of a unique reset there too. It wasn't kind of like the standing one, the bat release. It was the 2-hit string instead, which kind of almost led into a slightly off-timed jump in. You're so used to seeing that classic vortex of summon bat, jump into standing 1, bat release. And that's pretty much what you do, right? That's how you go for it. That's the classic vortex. Malgus going for that 1 extra hit is just, it offsets the timing by like a second, right? And that's like enough if you're fighting Batman.
I feel like it all runs back to what we were saying before about the versatility of this character. Just because he can do it one way doesn't mean there aren't other ways he can achieve the same thing. Like, yes, they might not be as watertight, there may be a gap, there may be an opportunity for a backdash. But again, you said it right, this is a tournament character. This is 3 out of 5. If you do something that's a little bit off that you're not expecting, all you need to do is work once and it's almost a life bar gone. And you don't have a huge amount of time to adapt to what, you know, the subtle differences might be in that kind of setup. But Fly did have a life lead, but no, a drop from Malgus. Definitely don't think he was ready for that forward 3 to connect at all. Oh wow, the disrespect, the first time I've seen the down 2 used like that in the set so far. Wow, completely avoiding all the buttons. That's no surprise.
There's the cross up. Oh, 43. Dude, Black Adam's damage. Lightning Bomb. Probably going to hit him anyway. That's unfortunate. Going in for the wake-up grab, which would have seemed like a good decision if the Lightning Bomb was not on the floor. And that's one of those things about Black Adam. He's such a sick character, like, fundamentally, that he actually rarely needs to use the Lightning Bomb. And when he does, it's, oh god, what's the mix-up going to be? You know, catches you off guard, throws you off massively. Reset situation, goes in for the knockdown. Very good block on the cross-up. Normally, it's only small hitbox characters that those cross-up. Here we go. Bam.
Typically, Fly getting so much damage. Man. I don't think I'm ever going to get bored of watching Black Adam come on. Wait a minute. Oh god.
Uh-oh. He's pulling back. I don't know whether that was just a spectator bug or whether they just unfortunately had that crash. But either way, they're going on. They're going on as normal. Full confirm, which is going to bring Darth Malgus back into this fight. Definitely don't count him out to access to his clash. That's a nice amount of meter. Fly spending so much of it just to get the job done, right? Just try and close in space, just to confirm. Which means that Batman's probably going to win a clash. I don't think it's going to be his choices clash anymore. He is a bit too weak now.
Okay, the full streak's in the end. Malgus once more not being really given a chance to get any clashes on deck, and that's going to be another life bar. Fly looking good so far. I feel like that was a bit more of a stable game for Fly. I think the biggest change there was I didn't really have to spend any time defending. I don't think we really saw like an extended sequence from Malgus that time. Like the game before was almost like 80% Fly blocking and finding an opportunity. But I guess that's what happens sometimes.
Darth Malgus saying in the chat, I forgot to clash.
Oh, I mean, we can try and give them the benefit of the doubt, but if the players are literally in stream chat saying "forgot to clash, lol," then I guess there's like, what is a commentator to do?
Now, this is actually one of those interesting strategies. Malgus, he does play multiple characters. He's known for playing Batman, but it's one of the characters in his repertoire. So as we're going into this character select, if he goes in for Darkseid, the second you kind of go 2 games up, okay, no, never mind. Maybe that was a mix-up. Maybe he was mixing us up. Maybe he was trying to get Fly to think about something else. But my point was going to be that that's kind of like a Tekken Master strat that we kind of see adapted, where you kind of win 2 games and you have to win 1 more. When you lose, you can pretty much change to what you would see as your personal best matchup for winning a best of 1. And that's a pretty good strategy. You just got to play loads of characters and be familiar first. Oh, okay, immediately in with the interactable instant neutral jump. Malgus making the reads on that grab. That's definitely one of those Yomi Slayers. Slayer known for doing that instant like neutral jump on prediction of a grab. The biggest shimmy.
The old shimmy. Or the forbidden shimmy.
Especially if it's Black Adam involved in some degree.
Still that full screen game. I feel like we're not really seeing a lot of the kind of like the Black Adam neutral stuff right now. You know what I mean? I feel like this is more of a just an example of Malgus is being really aggressive, and then when he makes a mistake or leaves an opening, Fly is just able to get something out of it, right? And because it's Black Adam, it's usually a lot of damage.
You actually will notice
Malgus is definitely in the driver's seat now. There's a throw. We haven't really seen many throws, which again is something you typically have to be really careful, because Black Adam, he has got a good down one, he has got a good down two. There's kind of like those instant fast buttons that you can use to challenge that point blank situation, so you don't really get the chance to do as many throws. But Batman is a character that you have to block so much that throws are not a terrible thing to throw out.
Now, I gotta say, one big thing that we're noticing, which is the difference of Malgus as Batman and, you know, previously with Foxy's Batman, is he's going for basically less Vortex. He's going for damage cash out, he's confident in the neutral. He likes establishing that presence versus Black Adam. Seems very, very confident about approaching this character anyway. And it's less about, I land a hit and make sure I Vortex at all costs. He's going pure damage, which is working out for him. It kind of goes back into what I talked about, the different types of Batman players. Either way, Malgus, he's going to be on match point here. Fly was able to get one, but a little bit of extra health going into the trait. The danger and the reason I've got to be worried is Fly now has no clash, and that's 3 bars of Batman. That is 3 separate Vortex attempts if Malgus decides to go for it. Now going to be 2, but he's probably going to build a 3rd bar anyway, and just going up for the up batter range, it's not even jailing. He's just sitting there and crouching and just letting Malgus throw the bar away. Oh god, it pushed away! Hang on a second. Again, damage. Opts not to go for anything else. Oh! No,
able for you.
I feel like Malgus is having really a lot of trouble kind of placing these jump 2s right now. So many of them kind of just whiffing, but beats the Lightning Cage again. Even though it's a bit of a sloppy game, still able to beat the Lightning Cage time after time.
Oh, what a pickup though. What a pickup and a terrible situation. Fly forced into a really unfavorable mix-up. The overhead or the slide. Probably wouldn't have been able to cancel into the slide because there was no move to cancel before. That said, Malgus still looking strong. We're going to be seeing him in the later age of this bracket. And Fly, unfortunately, is out of the tournament. But congratulations for top 8, man. Top 8 is no easy feat, especially at this level of competition. But we will be seeing Malgus moving on, who I believe, let's quickly consult the bracket. And that should be Malgus versus Orp. Orp's having to fight his 2nd Batman of the day.
Yes, indeed. But that does mean our final round 1 of top 8 is going to be coming up in a few minutes, which is going to be Fearless versus Heroes NZ. Now, Heroes, we saw him. We've actually seen him around a couple of times in various online events over the years. I think he is just a long-time NetherRealm kind of fan within the online world. Made his first appearance that we've seen him last week, actually, at just our local meetup in Hyper Combo Leicester. So clearly is keen to follow and get games in when he can. So not a huge surprise to see him still playing and still doing well for himself, even though it's on loser's side. Who did he actually beat to make it in loser's side top 8? He had to defeat Doomsday, actually, Doomsday Russia, or Doomsday 15 Russ. We've seen him around actually for a couple of years now, especially in Injustice. Always with that cheetah, always repping that cheetah, but Heroes is able to beat him with Superman, it looks like. So cool. Actually, should be seeing. I think Heroes plays both Supergirl and Superman. So the question is which one he wants to bring out.
I think
whenever Superman with a side of Supergirl.
Whenever I've been seeing Heroes play, it's almost always been Superman. That's kind of like the majority character. But as we go on into Injustice 2, you can kind of sort of see the strategies people like to pull out. It's not a single character game anymore. For the most part, there are a couple of players out there that can excel with one character. You've got the Hayate, for example. But I feel like people like Hayate are a rare breed these days. It's always built around at least having 2, covering every matchup in the game and not putting yourself in an unfavorable situation. So we'll see if he mixes it up. The interesting thing about Heroes, actually, is that we recently saw him come to our local the other day, which is like, what's going on here? I'm so used to having our local that we have here in the city for the FGC, and there not being much NetherRealm activity going on. And then here comes, I didn't even know it was Heroes at the time. I'd never seen him in real life. And he just turns up to our local event. And he's like, where's the Mortal Kombat? And then we just played for like 2 hours. And then lo and behold, that was Heroes NZ. And now he's going to be at our local every 2 weeks. Like, it's kind of crazy how things can turn out here in the UK. It always seems to be quite a small world, doesn't it?
Yeah, it seems that way. But I guess that's typically the case, right? But I think more back to the matter at hand, we know that the Intercontinental Championship has actually been really interesting so far. And I want to thank the guys for putting it on, all the guys behind the scenes, of course, Warner Brothers for making it happen. So it really has given us an opportunity to see these other regions that we don't get to see too much of. So the qualified players you have so far is Wazminator got first place in Australia and Gilbag got second. EU East was K-Top 1 and then Do Basic got second. Middle East was Tekamaster 1 and Shark Teeth got second. So now there's 2 spots left. But reading those names out and again realizing they are the qualified players, we have such a diverse in terms of characters, just the kind of players that sometimes get to compete often, some that just never get the opportunity to. And I think, depending on the players we have left in this bracket today, we could have like the perfect final 2 to finish that off.
Well, there's going to be Fearless versus Heroes, Atrocitus versus Superman. This is quite a very traditional Injustice 2 matchup. The big thing is the shield. The Dexter shield is arguably the most important tool in this entire match for that reason. But there's the reset. Heroes! We spent so much time seeing Superman players essentially go in only for combo extensions with the Meter Burn Breath. But as time has started to go on, especially with players like Dab, and I assume Heroes as well, the Frost Breath being used as a reset to get what is essentially another Vortex. And that right there is the shield. That's why it's so important. It just goes right through the sweeping laser. Look at the bar difference. Dedicates into the mix-up at the last second, knows he has the trait to make it safe, and he's got so much bar to make it hurt as well.
Bam! Oh no! There's a positive overhead. That's going to be a full corner combo. Taking damage over time isn't even necessary to take the first life bar, and Fearless, even though he was massively down, able to bring it back anyway. Heroes does have the interactable behind him. Now that Atrocitus trait, that is going to be the bane of Heroes' existence. It does such a good job of just shutting down. I suppose that classic Superman neutral, right? It just puts a real cork in it. It stops it from working for quite a while.
Good blocks on the last minute. Cross up, very good stuff. Good block on they're actually respecting the frames too, which is really important. And now the back, oh, the down one. Atrocitus has, I think, got one of the best down ones to challenge that, to be fair. So he's going to get the puddle now, absolutely forcing a clash. I feel like this might have been the last good opportunity Heroes would have had to actually use Wager. He's going to get some health back. And the important thing is, in this mid screen, he has to really watch out for that trait. Here comes the shield again. Watch out for that one. Back 2-3 into the pressure, push block just to get rid of Dexter, but he still gets 1 shield. That was best case scenario, just to get that 1 extra ounce. Just a thorn on the side. Such a good tool in this matchup, dude. That shield is excellent.
But there is the whiff punish from Heroes. The first time he's managed to get that for a while. The cat is almost back, so Heroes is going to be really careful. Free summon, not much you can really do. The shield, actually, shield came up too late. That's already half gone, but there's an easy punish. Heroes, he really has to be careful with those lasers when he sees that Fearless has the cat active.
Oh, the push block's going to keep the Siphon there too. The Siphon became one of those tools that Atrocitus players definitely weren't using day one, but now such a crucial part of this game plan. Not even because of the burst you get if you build it up, just the threat of the draining life over time, the fact he gets health back as well. It kind of just makes him this kind of tank-style character, which he's always been. And he has shield, down 1 lift. Yes, please! Restand into Siphon, more mix-ups just to keep him in check, and the Siphon's going to just keep being more and more irritating. Okay. There's the 4-2-3, but the second he gets hit, it's a clash. Such good resource management from Fearless.
I mean, it's going to be gone now, so Heroes doesn't have to worry about it, but the big life deficit to be worried about. I feel like Atrocitus is one of those characters that it's really hard to avoid tiny amount of damage, so the lower Heroes goes here. I'm not sure if I fancy his chances as Fearless, because he's just trying to buy some time to get the cat back. That's all he's looking for. The second he has it, that might be party time. That's what he's got.
Ooh,
okay,
right in the face.
I mean, I do believe the punch goes through the shield, so I wonder if that's what we want to see Heroes go for more often. Chip damage, all the backdash,
there's the tech.
Back 2, full punish.
Optimization, man, optimization, wait a sec. Wait a minute! What? Heroes NC! What? A turnaround.
Win.
And it was...
It was just giving us that last little quick reminder that Superman exists in this game, and just like that was so clean. Oh my word!
And there's also that, it was the fact that he punished with the back 2 as well. Like he wanted that combo. That was not like that wasn't like oh god, I'm gonna get the punish, and then you just see a B&B. That was I'm gonna put him in the corner. And I'm gonna do this exact
But I mean, like, you can't exactly fault Fearless for it. It was Superman. Just, by all intents and purposes, a perfect play from Heroes. Fearless had Heroes on chip damage territory, so he jailed him into the punch float, tried to go for just that last little bit of chip damage. Heroes got the backdash into the back 2 punish.
Approaching the Batcave.
That was a perfectly placed Superman back 2. A fast normal that can launch if you meter burn it, into a restand, into one of those wacky Superman corner setups. That was perfect play from Heroes through and through.
Begin.
Oh, We don't have time to really collect on it too much because we're back in business. Game 1 is going to be
I feel like that was just daylight robbery.
Oh yeah,
Heroes just stole that from Fearless. Like,
someone call the police. Get this man in a cell for the robbery that he committed. But either way, disrespecting a little bit. So now he's not an amazing position. And wow, Wake Up Scoop still sends its regards.
Oh, another one.
Oh no!
Oh, hang on.
Again, that
Oh
back
no!
two.
No! Oh, I did it again! Oh, see you later. Good. Daylight. Someone unplug his PS4. Turn this guy's internet off. Someone do something. This is insane.
I mean, but this is what Superman has turned into, and I'm so happy to see Heroes showing it off for all to see. You know, Superman, he has had a bit of a bad rep in the community for a little while as being a bit basic. You know, the classic Superman style doesn't really work as much anymore. But you know, thanks to those that have still sticking with the character. You know, like you said before, people like Dab, you know, clearly Heroes. They're really transforming this character into like a corner monster for stuff like that. His trait, increased damage. He does so much natively. Those just ambiguous jump-ins. So strong.
The goal is going to be for Fearless now to, like, I know obviously no clues in the name, right, Fearless, but he needs to do everything he can to not be in this situation. He's consistently putting himself in harm's way. His back is to the corner. He is being forced into this mix-up because he is choosing to press the advantage in situations where there's actually a bigger risk than I think Fearless is anticipating. And now here comes the pressure. Good tech. Very, very good tech, actually. Teching grabs against Superman when he's got trait is so scary. But again, you know, Fearless, this man don't care. Okay, Puddle, this should definitely be the round, but actually not necessarily. Mix up.
No, the fuzzy and the punish. Heroes is still ready. I feel like Heroes is playing really well with the life lead, right? Like, he just plays with no fear. His fuzzies are on point. His playing around the trade is on point. He's doing a much better job getting around the shield this time. You know, placing those, like, diving punches to get through it. Interactables, just not letting Fearless get the same way in that was happening before. And it really has put Fearless in an uncomfortable position with punish. Doesn't have the bar to extend. Throw, again, Heroes. Taking every little bit of damage he can from Fearless. Fearless is forced to push block, but able. I wonder if that was a Fearless expected Heroes to expect them to go for the cat. So the Puddle came through instead.
I almost feel like, you know, I don't even mean to keep going back and talking about the name, but the big thing is that Heroes is actually putting the fear in him. That's what happened. We saw so much at the beginning of especially pretty much the entirety of the first game, and then most of this at the very beginning. There was a lot of Fearless just kind of doing what Atrocitus does best, which is, I have an oppressive playstyle, I'm going to force it onto you, and that's going to be how we play this matchup. And he had so many ways of getting around Superman's neutral, going, you know, shielding through the sweeping lasers, absorbing the regular eye lasers, and with punishing it with Puddle. That was the matchup. That is the matchup. But as Heroes has done so many these little micro reads that are leading into obnoxiously high damage, it's making Fearless now kind of second guess some of his decisions here, which is allowing Heroes to really push this forward. And now he's the one that's in control of the set. Is this going to be a 3-0, do you reckon?
Begin.
Maybe. I feel like unless a severe adjustment is made from Fearless, that's exactly what we're going to see. Because, oh well, instant air dash. I like what Fearless is trying to do here. He doesn't want to just show Heroes that he has been conditioned, but I feel like the biggest change is that what Fearless was getting with the trait in the first game just isn't working anymore. Heroes has found the answer, but Fearless is kind of sticking to his guns. I don't know if it's going to work like that. Or does he get the fuzzy this time?
That classic mix-up, man. Atrocitus he never not had it. You know what I'm saying? This is, even though, you know, it's kind of, you can sort of fuzzy it in this tournament situation, it's very scary. One of the scariest mix-ups in the game, and it is to this day still that, but there's the pressure. Good catch from the armored back three, and I would say this is a great situation for Fearless, but this Heroes just goes back to the wall. Should be the round anyway, though. Manages to escape.
Is that enough in the bar?
No,
it chooses not to.
It just scales too much, man. There's too many down twos in that combo for it to kill.
Well, he would have if he split the bar on the punch flow, but he just didn't to. But, uh-oh, he might regret that.
Watch out. Okay, this is such a weirdly clutch situation. We're like moments away from this connecting 2 times in a row. Fearless able to escape, but it costs him a lot of resources, and the anti-air laser a good 10% by itself.
Oh, big air to air. Even though it was just one hit, it was a heavy, so that's a ton of damage. That was a really expensive trait sequence from Fearless, but he's keeping the life lead with it. Definitely worth it. Blocking overhead this time.
Yeah, he had to hold the frames. Doesn't go in. I wonder if Hero's expecting down one for it to be his turn again. Airborne laser. Hero's now on match point. And again, we would say this is a great situation for Fearless, but we've seen what Heroes has done before. One corner sequence is absolute deletion. I love the dash punch. It almost feels like the shield can't keep up with Atrocitus right as the dash punch connects, so it is meaningless. And when it lands, the shield disappears.
But this is a good clash anyway, because Hero's guaranteed some health back. Spends a lot of bar, actually. 3 bars gone now, but it has put Fearless's trait back to just completely no cooldown whatsoever. Oh, no. I like how Heroes is being reserved here. He doesn't want to kind of just blindly run in, because that is how you lose against Atrocitus. Especially with Fearless still having access to Clash. Oh, just out range, but oh no, he tried to do a forward 2 from crouch. He got the rising grab. The classic Superman Imp error. Well, that could trade for Heroes.
Dude, it almost feels like Heroes has remembered the dash punches. So
the knowledge! The knowledge!
Oh god, that was always the solution, man. Since beta, enhanced online beta of Injustice 2, that has been how you shut down Puddle into Dexter's shot. The back 3, armor it up, deal with that pressure, and Heroes NZ actually moving on 3-0. That is not the result I expected. I must be honest. I thought it was going to be a bit closer. I really did. But
I mean, there's no denying it. It was just a strong showing all in all. Heroes putting on a bit of a masterclass on how to play the Atrocitus matchup, down to specific Superman setups, down to knowledge like that at the very end, right? And the reason that works, and for those of you watching maybe somewhat uninitiated, the Atrocitus Puddle is so punishable on block that most characters can get a raw back 3 to punish it. What Atrocitus players will do when they have the cat out is they'll go for Puddle on block and they'll shoot a cat projectile to kind of stop that from working, because obviously the cat projectile will hit you and the back 3 will work. If you meter burn, the back 3 has the armor, so it sponges the hit of the cat ball and you still get the now enhanced damage version of the back 3 because you meter burned it. Atrocitus can go for the shield instead, but it still keeps it punishable. It all comes down to that final, what do you think he's going to do? But Heroes calling out the cat projectile, getting the back 3, clean end for a clean set, 3-0. And now, who do we have next in the stream queue?
It should be Orp versus Malgus. It should be Orp versus Malgus, and then it'll be Derpy versus Heroes. There is so, I've got to say, there's so much UK in this bracket. We have Dizzy, we have Foxy Grandpa, Orp, Derpy, and Heroes, all of which that's 5 of our 8, right? That's all UK present.
Yeah.
This has been a good tournament.
UK winners finals. Represent.
Well,
I know we said we'll try not to be biased, but I feel like the players are doing a good job of that by themselves at this point.
Wait, Malgus is UK too. If Malgus is UK, if he is UK as well, that's six of the 8 is UK. Wait, Malgus, how come have I seen you at an event before? So this is probably not the place for that, but we'll talk about this after. But either way, we have matchups in losers upcoming next. I think actually Malgus versus Orp will be interesting, because Orp versus Foxy was very, very close. Unfortunately for Orp, it did kind of start to fall apart by the end. I know Orp has been very, very confident going into this tournament, but it's not really been arrogance. It's been just, it's been a young player that is acknowledging their growth in the scene, and they're doing better and better as tournaments go on. And this is, for this year, the last chance. Right, we are reaching the end of IPS 2018, and the Intercontinental Championship is the only way that we can get this guaranteed Intercontinental presence. Right, we have Australia, we have Middle East, EU West, EU East, so many territories covered, and this is the last chance for basically all of them. So just in case some of you guys joined us right now and wondering what this tournament is to find out who the 2 final players qualifying for our top 8 offline finals in, not long now, actually, like what, a matter of a week or so.
This time next week, I'm pretty sure. So in 7 days from now, we will be finding out who's going to be our guaranteed international representative in the Injustice Pro Series finals in November. And I feel like this is such an exciting time for the Injustice 2 community. We know who the IPS leaderboard point earners are going to be. Obviously, ECT, we have the last chance qualifier. We're still awaiting Liga Latina finals, and of course, the Intercontinental Championship as well. There is still so much uncertainty as to exactly who's going to be playing. And there are so many strong Injustice 2 players left to qualify who are yet to qualify. And through competitive leagues like this is a perfect opportunity to see that kind of thing. But moving back into the matter at hand, it's going to be Orp from Scotland versus Malgus. Orp, again, he knows he's capable of greatness in this, and I know he's been gunning for a top 2 placement today. But he is in losers bracket now. Malgus, we've seen, has got this tidy Batman. Orp took it to the wire against Foxy. It was 3-2. But we know Orp is looking for that top 2, but Malgus is currently in his way. He'll be able to move this.
Well, either way, we have the pressure. This was such a close matchup for Orb before, and he was showing so much understanding of this matchup too. It was just, he kind of put himself in a bit of really unfavorable positions that led to Vortex, and Foxy definitely not afraid to Vortex on every given touch. And Wake Up Trailblazer almost immediately. If you're going to do the really brash stuff, I think doing it at the very beginning where there's less, I think, to cost you is probably going to be a little bit better. Goes in, wow, back to back, that's 2 Wake Ups now. Orp has gone in for the Wake Up Trailblazer. I wonder if that's going to send a message to Malgus, make him worry a little bit. Here comes the pressure. Instantly jumping in, gets met, no full combo, because, again, these hits, I just don't think Orp is believing in them. And to be honest, it doesn't matter, because he took the first round anyway, very confident.
I feel like he's almost looking for, I feel like he's almost been looking for the new jump to be blocked so he can go in for something, right? Because Firestorm does have access to plus frames. Chooses not to plant the bomb on, but took a lot of damage to get out that corner.
Do you wonder if that was a mistake?
That, though. No, I think it was intentional. I think he maybe didn't really care about doing damage. He just didn't want to end in the corner. However, as I can say that, look at where we are. Oh no, the anti-air just occupying that space. That Peter burn up Batarang so strong.
I think for me, that
box plus frames. What?
I think for me, that's one of those "Are you too good for your home?" answer me moments where you leave and then immediately pretty much give yourself to them on a silver plate.
You just referenced Happy Gilmore in the Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah, so what?
I mean, I respect it. I just wasn't expecting it.
Expect the unexpected here in the online world of injustice. The down 2 anti-air, very, very clean actually. Batman's out. I mean, you know a down 2 is good when it's essentially a 6-frame reversal, or however fast it was. I can't remember if it's 6 or 7, but I know that it's mashed. It is a mashed button on many occasions. Uh-oh, Orp getting caught here, clipped. Oh, wide. Ooh, nice conversion actually, I like it. We're gonna get the Vortex. We're gonna get the traditional corner. Wonderful block, and
oh, I love
excellent.
it. I love it. Again. Oh, again. Oh, he's pressing these buttons, but he's not confident in connecting.
Okay, you have to watch out here. This is Batman's playground. Jump distance, but instant jump 1 anti-air. This was the only, I think, lifeline Malgus actually had in the situation, was that he had a clash, right? That was a level 3 Firestorm. That was going to be an air to air. That was going to be a Vortex. Thank God he had clash to get out of it.
Orp is actually in the driver's seat right now. Reactionary anti-air. No, he dropped the combo! Is that enough damage? No, surely not. Especially if he drops the ender. Orp giving a lifeline again. Oh, even in chip damage territory now. Look at that. Atlantis! Oh, getting a little bit too anti, but another drop. Wait, the wake up from Orp comes through. He has one bar. Can he do anything? Trailblazer. Oh, and the interactable.
But I feel like when you're, the thing is, when you're that weak, right, and you are 1 hit away from death, I feel like those kind of really explosive, slippery moments, they only really need to exist when you're point blank. They were kind of within that jump distance. I don't really think Orp needed to take those big risks in the final, like, closing millisecond. I don't think he needed to go for the interactable. I don't think he needed to go for the instant Trailblazer. I just feel like there's some moments where, you know, the second you're 1 hit away from death, but you had some real estate to work with. You had resources too. I hope that doesn't come back to bite him in the backside.
Approaching Metropolis.
Well, we'll find out soon. As unfortunately that has put him 1 game down, and you know that off the back of a match like that, it's always infinitely harder mentally coming back from it if you are the one that loses. If anything goes down to that kind of like final hit scramble, we have to remember both players did drop a ton of combos to get to that point. It should have been over a lot longer, a lot sooner than it was. But to lose that kind of scramble, that is such a mentally just taxing toll on you as a competitor. But Malgus, another drop. We need to see just better execution across the board, especially at this point of play. You know, we're playing for a shot at the top 8 for the IPS finals, right? That is no short hill to climb.
It's the best only, right? This is only the best makes it through. And if you're dropping a lot of your basic BMBs due to either, I don't know, we'll just put it down to tournament pressure. That's always what it tends to be, but this has been a nightmare round for Orp. But yeah, there's that matchup knowledge. Some characters have those really specific answers to the back 2-3, and that's one of them. Firestorm goes in for level 3 traits, going to keep him alive temporarily, but unfortunately, it's only really existing to keep him alive and not undo a lot of the damage that's been done. Immediate Molten Trap, and oh, I don't know if that was intentional.
That was a forward dash into a Molten Trap. I wonder if that was an execution error or just a big read, but regardless, he's going to go down a life bar for it, and Malgus now looking pretty strong with quite a life lead, to say the least. That second bat is almost back as well.
I actually like the air dash attempt, and the patience. The delayed forward 3 crushing the Starfish. Instant low. Have to watch out for that poke back to back. Is that full combo? No. Catches it just a little bit too early. Now there's pressure on the back dash. Orp looking very uncomfortable on defense. Clean conversion. Okay. And again, another combo drop.
No. Mistake, but he's still given time. Okay, he's got the level 3 trait on deck. Does he pop it now for the health, or does he wait?
I don't know if that overhead was intentional, you know? It was too far away to work. I wonder if it was a Molten Trap attempt.
Uh-oh. Oh, he has no choice, has to clash.
Don't bet on
Now, does Malgus try and contest? Because I'm not sure if he can really afford to spend both, but he does. Malgus holding on to his, and he had the 1.
He's got level 3, but the question's going to be, like, but the second the bat is out in the neutral, I don't think you can really go for those Molten Traps, because a Molten Trap trade versus a bat trade, it's pretty much the same kind of neutral. You both recover at the same time. So he's throwing them out, and if he gets it, it's probably going to trade with bat. If he doesn't get it, he's probably going to get jumped in on. Like, I don't know if these full screen Molten Traps are really working in Orc's favor at all.
Well, especially against a character like Batman, it would be...
Oh, what? Oh, God, they both flew through space and time itself. No damage done on that exchange. I'm a big fan of that.
Perfectly balanced. The universe is happy once again. Okay, there's Molten Traps. Almost fell for it again. 4-2, nothing behind it. And there it is, the reversal Trailblazer. Oh, no! Managing to get something. Has 1 bar. This could be everything. Oh, and a transition. Malgus. Classic damage coming through from Orb, giving himself a solid life lead, and Malgus now on the back foot. Absolutely. That did a lot of damage for a transition. Oh no, he got hit by the full distance slide again! Oh, he's got the bar, but he drops it again!
This is a guaranteed silver plate win. That was not worth the risk! That was not worth the risk, Mustard! But he did it anyway!
It wasn't going to get blocked. It was taller than headlights. It would have gone over him if he sat there, and it would have put Malgus in a situation that he had to chase it down. I feel like it actually almost was worth the risk.
Maybe. I don't know, man. It's actually really hard to say. Like, some of these like general height situations can be kind of hard to pinpoint. You can definitely see there's a lot of obvious nerves going on right now. And like, you know, I feel like once you've been in this competitive scene for long enough, you can see what nerves look like, and this is what we're watching right now. And it's because of how much is on the line. You know, I don't want to be, you know, I'm not going to be on repeat, but this is the last chance for our European players. You know, this is what everything has been building up to, and because this happened actually quite late in the year, there's been a lot of grinding and preparation on anticipation of this. Like, this has gone on, you know, until essentially the end of the year.
Well, the thing is,
can you imagine grinding all year for 1 cup?
Especially as an international player, right? Like, for you know, I feel like it's easy to say. You know, I'm seeing a lot of people around, you know, in chat that are like, you know, you play in the War of the Gods, or you know, at various IPL events in America. And I feel like it must be said, as an international player, it is hard to get Injustice 2 practice. We've had this year internationals have had Biennality and an online cup for you know, for IPL, and that's it. So if you want to be like, you know, a strong player with a chance to get into IPS finals, this is basically all you really have at this point for most of the year. So for these internationals, the weight of these events, you know, this might look like just an online cup to a number of people, but to the internationals and the people playing, this is their everything, because this is their only chance, which is why we're seeing such high pressure, high tense situations, because for these players, this is the most important tournament they have ever entered today.
Well, either way, Orp looking much, much better here. Very confident. And it's a strong neutral. Right? That's the main thing about Firestorm, is that he has such an amazing neutral, even against Batman, who has some trading situations, and yeah, down to against Firestorm, very risky. Right? You have to be so confident it's going to work. But how often is Darth Malgus actually getting whiff punished entirely just by a jump in? He's getting jumped in on trying to anti-air because Firestorm has so many ways to always jump hard.
The max range slide again. Orb is just consistently not ready for it. Not doing a huge amount of damage though, and Orb able to seize it back. Oh, interactable completely missing, but I mean, look at the life lead Orb has. Almost doesn't matter at this point. Empty jump, doesn't stick anything out, so doesn't walk into the forward 3. Oh, forward dash throw. Orb trying to get cute now.
Pressure for days. Disrespects the starfish, and yeah, Malgus tries to parry. That was a rock and a hard place situation, I think, right there. That was having to take really good frames from Firestorm, 1 hit away from death. Anything he would cancel into a, you know, a starfish would kill anyway. Means you can't jump, means you probably can't press buttons. Parry was like the last lifeline for Malgus right there.
But I feel like sometimes you're in a situation that you're forced to make you're forced to make one of those hard decisions. You know, when you're that far behind on life against someone that has chip damage options, they've got trait ready, they've got a bar to spend, and you are there, and you know they're trying to frame trap you. They have you on plus frames. Like, sometimes you got to make a call, even if it doesn't work. They look silly. It's a call you had to make. You had no choice in the matter. But it does look like Malgus is going to be abandoning Bruce Wayne for now, as it's going to be Darkseid. He is betting his Intercontinental Championship lifeline on Firestorm and Darkseid. When was the last time we've seen this? Is it Combat and Nyx? And even then, Nyx doesn't play as much Darkseid nowadays.
Yeah, it's a lot of Black Manta back in the day. But either way, I gotta say, Malgus has been typing in chat quite regularly today about he may be using Darkseid, maybe seeing Darkseid in the top 8. So I think it was always one of those characters that people kind of want to see. But I think if you're in tournament and it's Batman or Darkseid, I don't blame you if you're going Batman. But now it's his final game, right? He's down to his last lifeline. It's going to be a game of full screen versus full screen. I don't really think this is massively unfavorable for Darkseid, to be honest, because that full screen game, Omega Beams are still one of the stronger projectiles in the game. The problem is Darkseid has no buttons in a game of buttons.
Yeah, and we can already see that Orb is definitely not afraid to kind of enforce those normals, enforce those strings, and force Malgus in those situations that he has to use buttons to get out. And the most he can really get is down 1. But, it seems to be enough right now. He has a slight life lead. Oh, wow, no, the meter burn shot coming through from Orb uses only bar to do so, but doesn't have a life lead.
Oh,
yeah,
no choice.
Nothing he can do about that. Nothing he can do about that.
Accept your fate, my friend. Now, this is going to be match point for Orb, though. That's the thing. It's just a full screen battle. This is that classic matchup. But this is where Darkseid kind of has to be. And the down 1 immediately reactionary. A back 3 just keep unclashable. We have level 3 now as well. And this is just going from bad to worse. Commits. Goes in for the raw jump. No! Dedicates everything into the stomp. And it just felt like that was the fastest second round we've ever seen. We saw level 3 Firestorm. We saw risks taken by Malgus that was immediately answered back by Orp, who walks on in this bracket. Malgus, thank you for playing, mate, but unfortunately, this is where your journey ends.
Yep, I mean, an unfortunate way to go, but I think Orp was really just on a roll at the end there. That was a swift life bar for a swift character, and Orp is going to be happy with that, moving on in loser's bracket as he gets one step closer now. As we know we're getting to the point that we are looking closer and closer towards our top 4 today. Yes. As our next match is going to be one I'm personally very excited to see. It's going to be Derpy versus Heroes NZ. And after seeing how solid Heroes was playing, and that we know that Derpy used to play Superman and plays, again, on a very kind of like fundamentally sound level, I genuinely don't really know what to say about this one. I feel like Derpy has more experience overall, but Heroes is playing really well today. I think this is going to be a tough one to call. And of course, following this is going to be our winners finals of Dizzy versus Foxy. That does mean that these are 4 UK players moving on right now into this, as Derpy and Heroes, both UK, Dizzy TT and Foxy, both UK. It's a strong time to be someone from the United Kingdom.
I don't know what it is about this cup. It's just been all of UK. And a lot of these players you would probably see in, future events. We had recently, we had Versus Fighting, which was in, I believe, July. Right, it was in July or August. I can't remember. They swapped them over, didn't they, this year compared to last? But what we saw there was basically, it was just a small little UK tournament, but we saw some of these faces. I don't know if Derpy attended, but we did see Orp definitely, who was able to secure.
No, Derpy wasn't there.
Yeah, Derpy wasn't in attendance. But I know Dizzy TT won, and then the top 3, I believe, was Undead, Jim, and X-Zorro. That was actually the surprising result, which was why, I'm going to say, actually, from an Orp perspective, I do think that Versus Fighting was really important for Orp, because he was everyone's favorite to get at least grand finals and maybe actually win, because he was such a good online player with Firestorm. And it, with the exception of Play Expo Glasgow, had never been to a big tournament before, especially offline. And when he went to Versus Fighting, the top 3, obviously Orp was not in the top 3. It was Undead Jim and X-Zorro, who had kind of entered the tournament and kind of just played it for fun because they were there. They're Birmingham locals, so why not? And Orp definitely massively underperformed compared to what everyone was expecting. But I think through that loss, Orp kind of got that wake-up call of, okay, that was a really disastrous first tournament performance. But to be honest, that's a rite of passage, is to do bad at your first bigger tournament. And since then, he has been progressively placing better in these competitive environments. And it's all kind of leading up to what could still be a qualification spot for him. But this next matchup, Heroes versus Derpy, looks to me like Heroes is going in with Green Arrow. I've never seen his arrow before, so...
Me neither. And I'm quite surprised to see it, considering how solid his Superman was. I wonder if it's like a matchup thing. If he just personally feels really confident in this. Because Green Arrow, I feel like we don't see a huge amount of him, but at the same time we do. You know what I mean? I feel like he's in that kind of like weird middle ground where every scene has a couple of Green Arrow players, and they can always do well at a high level, but you never really see them win it big. I think the character is decent, but does have certain problems. But you know, when he's played for matchups in mind, then that's where you don't necessarily see those issues as often.
Now, this is actually a really good pick for heroes. You know, Green Arrow, very, very aggressive, keep away, but he has a lot of tools to keep Robin at bay. You know, I believe, I can't actually remember the matchup off the top of my head, like the player behind might have been actually Sunio, I believe, maybe. We saw Hayate run this exact same matchup, and it kind of looked a little bit tricky for Robin. Not saying it's a bad matchup as such, but it definitely looked like a matchup that Green Arrow can fight.
I think it depends on how the flow of the game is going. I feel like Green Arrow with a life lead, if you're a character without a traditional projectile, is always kind of miserable. But it's a question of just getting to that point, right? Because Robin, he does have the damage, he does have the setup, but what will happen with it? As obviously we know that Green Arrow is a little bit fiddly. He's not the easiest character in the game to pressure on Wake Up. Now, we know that Robin does have those long buttons to get through a lot of those wake-up options, so I guess it's just going to be a question of knowledge and enforcing that knowledge.
But this is heroes playing the matchup correctly. You know, Green Arrow, yes, he's got some buttons up close. He has something that resembles a little bit of pressure. But to be honest, his whole game plan is not built around being up close. He is one of the most creative defensive characters in the entire game. So many ways to keep you at bay and zone you out. He's not one of those characters that is kind of confined to one projectile. He has so many different varieties. I definitely think he's probably one of the most interesting keep away characters, I would say, because of just how much customization you have. There's so many ways you can keep them at bay. I like watching it. Ooh, the Takeda player coming out of Derpy right there.
Oh, no punish from Derpy though. I wonder if he attempted the uppercut but just didn't quite get it. And again! Wow, Derpy needs to really fix this up. That was like 2 opportunities back to back to save a life. But wow, Hero's backdashing onto the tray. That'll do it.
I like the fact that Green Arrow's backdash with a backflip. They backflip into a backflip. All right, full combo. There's the repositioning. Still has the pressure. Okay, that should be actually no need to even go for a detonation. Let's just keep him in the corner.
That's it, right? Just the red trait being a low when it explodes. Just the fact that it's there on the floor created a mix-up every time Heroes got off the ground there, and Derpy knew it.
Oh, slice him up. Cash out extra damage. And now, wonderful block on the slide. Definitely in Derpy's favor. Heroes can't particularly zone away, but actually now the slide connected, maybe he can. With the slide, back-to-back Derpy, kind of letting this run away from him a little bit, and it's now going to be anyone's game. Watch out for this absolute bombardment of arrows. Robin can still take this fight. I don't know how to call this one, man.
I mean, it's guys, be careful. This is chip damage territory. That meter burn Savage Blast at this health is so dangerous. He has the bar, but can't be too obvious with the meter burn roll. Just enough. And now Heroes has to be careful too. Uh-oh.
No! What the fuck? No! Oh, God. Borrowed time.
That one arrow Derpy could afford to take on block. But at the same time, it's like, if he fired it low right as Derpy maybe went for a jump or some kind of anything but jumping at that time to get hit by it, that was almost like a game of chicken, right? Like, I'm holding this projectile. What are you going to do about it?
Well, unfortunately, that was when you fight an aggressive defensive character, you do put yourself in a situation where you have to play with minimal mistakes. Absolute minimal mistakes. Every decision needs to be super smart because one missed opportunity. The main thing is that it allows them to essentially get the space they need again. So Derpy, he's gone in for a character change. I do understand it. I know that some people, I have seen Robin players in the past say they do not like that arrow matchup at all. So going in with Black Adam for a bit more of a favorable, more mobility, especially airborne mobility, which is the big one. Dive kick is one of those real glory destroying projectile moves. It's such an amazing tool for that. Plus you've got the good movement speed. You've got the forward one that advances, the trait which just makes things even better on block as well. I definitely expect a more favorable matchup from Derpy, but I've not really seen him use Black Adam too much in tournament.
But that's it. I know he's had a Black Adam for a long time, but I haven't personally seen him play it competitively for a while. So I do question how up to speed it might be. But I feel like the amount he used to play Black Adam, like I remember back at Versus fighting last year, he considered Black Adam basically his main. So I know he has some serious time behind it. So I'm assuming if he's playing it, it's ready. And it's looking pretty tidy already, as he's going to quite convincingly take the first life bar from Heroes already, just a couple of seconds into his first life bar.
But to be honest, this goes back into what we talked about, having teams of characters. Robin may be Derpy's favorite character, but he knows that against a hyper defensive zoning style character, if he has a Black Adam and he doesn't have to put Robin in those matchups, I'm not saying Robin even loses those matchups, but if Black Adam does them better, then you have the character on like. Pick Robin for matchups you like, a Black Adam for matches you don't.
a good sequence. Heroes already lost his clash, and already he's going from bad to worse. There's a trait ready for Derpy. He's going to use it straight away in Heroes. I mean, at this point, you're not even trying to air tech. Can't do anything about this.
I definitely feel like he threw in the towel.
Dearie me.
I definitely feel like he threw in the towel.
That's a surrender if ever I've seen one.
Adam wins.
Well, yeah, we have the same brain. Snap. It's almost like we're twins or something.
I know. How about that? But I feel like the change was clearly good. You know, Derpy managing to make it work anyway. And even though I haven't seen his Black Adam in a while, still looking really strong. Now the question is, does Heroes change?
Oh yeah,
Superman, we do. This is a Season 1 matchup.
There's no way whatsoever that Heroes is ever going to go back into Green Arrow. Now the question is going to be like, is this going to be one of those games of character changes? Because does Derpy lose this match and then go back to Robin for Superman, of which is going to give Heroes, the option to maybe lose the next match against Robin and then change to Green Arrow again? We don't really see a huge amount of these situations, these constant change after each game, especially in Europe. But to be honest, my gut tells me I think Derpy might stick with Black Adam for this whole match. He's going to know he doesn't want to fight Green Arrow again.
But can Heroes even get himself in that situation? Because if Derpy is looking good in this matchup as well, then Derpy's not going to, in theory, have any reason to change at all, especially with those point-blank punishes Heroes. I think he was maybe banking on Derpy expecting the meter bow on that laser, but Derpy not falling for it, and there's the knowledge, the down one on Superman's wake-up.
I mean, Derpy,
wake-up attack.
He does play Superman as well, so those like anti-wake-up scenarios, he's going. And he does it again. He's going for a really meaty down one as Hero stands up, and he does every single time. But Heroes.
So what does he do? Wake up neutral jump with 2.
Oh no! He drops the combo. We could have actually seen the whole round from that. Oh, watch out! The death ball. He was trying to time it.
He doesn't care. Heroes is trying to shimmy Derpy. He's just like, nope, I ain't moving. I ain't pressing nothing. Again, Derpy doesn't care. Oh, there's this moment.
All right, now he has to watch out again. One more bit of block. No, just respects the 4-2-3, and he's actually dead. Oh my God, Heroes! His corner stuff is so good.
Oh, there we go. So we know that Heroes clearly has the ability to just steal entire life bars back. We saw it before. I'm seeing it now. Or tries to backdash, but gets tagged by the other hits of the lightning.
With punish.
This could be huge. Oh, I like that. I like that a lot.
Very clean. Oh, delay. I think he's way more content taking the grab than the full combo right there. That looked like a very deliberate, I might just take this grab.
Oh, wow. Very late jumping. I don't think Derpy was ready for that to hit there.
Good block across up. Again, I really feel like Heroes is just content taking the grab because of his bar. If he lands an opening now, that's a reset to death, or maybe even at this stage, unclashable damage.
Wow!
He like punched his cape or something. How did he pick him up?
He hit his toe so hard, he slammed back down to the ground and bounced up again. That's going to be probably the tallest forward 3 I've ever seen connect from Black Adam. Now, I'll be honest, even though Derpy was able to win that, I really like the way Heroes was able to bring it back. Because I feel like he was so massively down, but it just didn't seem like it at the end. So I'd like to see him stick with Superman, absolutely. The question is, does he? Or does he go to someone else?
Oh,
here it is.
Heroes, we can clearly see that Heroes is a smart player. So we know for sure that when Heroes is in a situation where he's picking character, I don't think he's going to be hasty with a decision. He's going to calculate it first. So going in with Superman, that was the likely scenario because that very much was not a matchup thing that caused the loss there. He was making some great decisions, but Derpy just played a little bit better.
But I like the way, I think you pointed out before about how Heroes is quite content taking the throws. Because I feel like there are certain characters that you have to be so careful with this game about throw taking. I feel like these are 2 of those characters. Taking Superman throws is dangerous because if you get tagged by forward 2, depending on where on the screen you are, it can be death. But Black Adam is much the same. You know, this character has so many plus frames, but at least his throw puts you full screen. Well, no, who am I thinking of? No, it does put you full screen. What am I thinking of?
I am
confused. Oh, reset. There it is, the cross-up. No, he did it too early. He didn't get the reset.
Now, that's the one thing about Superman's reset is that it does reset to be in a great position, but you need to delay it at just the magical time, really. Now, here's the frost breath. Did we see a reset again? Okay. He wants that.
No, that was just a raw dive bomb. That's not a mix-up. I think Hero's getting a little bit too ahead of himself here. And this was expecting Derpy to maybe he's going for a setup. It must be a 50-50, but Derpy not falling for it. Defense on point. Goes match point against Heroes, and Heroes, he does have trait in 2 bars, so he has the resources to tie up. But
the thing about Superman is you don't always need to restand the opponent. You can actually still just go for knockdown into good frames. The Black Adam doesn't really have the best wake up in the game, does he? Superman can stuff that easily. I feel like Heroes went a bit too cute going in for the resets. Probably should have just taken the damage, to be honest. Either that or he fumbled the setup.
I mean, sometimes, like, if you do those Superman setups, that they are true guessing games. So why knock them down and make it a read? If you can just make them guess and still get a ton of damage. I feel like it's just, there's certain elements, if you mistime it or you do it a little bit wrong, it is what it is. It happens sometimes. Still though, Derpy, look at the patience. He has no at all intent to just go in.
Down 2. Dash. He just down 2, crouching under. Now this is bad for Heroes. If he gets clipped, he's gonna clash. He has to clash.
I feel like Derpy can afford to just sit and wait for trait though. Because at this point, any damage Heroes takes is good damage, and the trait is unclashable. Or tries to instant dive kick, but no. Heroes spending just 1 bar, happily to take that one back. Now, the thing is, Derpy's actually gone from a not a great situation here. He's only got the 1 bar left, and this is Superman. If Heroes can get him towards the corner, maybe. Mid-screen, of course, Derpy's a little bit safer. But there it is. More the safe trait pressure coming through.
But Derpy will take that grab again. The same reasons Heroes would. Oh, why? That was a big risk. Maybe Derpy understood if I have Clash, I'm going to make that risk once. Because if he caught the lightning cage, he probably could either chase down a tech or untechable back three. Alright, Heroes now just needs 1 opening. He has to fish for it, but he can't get clipped. The benefit though, Derpy, no resources, but he has got trait. If he gets within forward 1 range, which is right there, and there's the really good tech, very smart. Woo! Count. Oh no! That might be it, but no Heroes. He has a lot of bar too, just be guaranteed life regeneration. I think surely he can't afford to hold on to it too, right? 2-0. That's what we get. Now if Derpy catches him 1 more time, he will confirm. Oh, no! He did not want that! He wanted a down 1! No, he wanted a forward 2, but he did it from a crouching, so he got the rising grab. Oh yeah, oops, sorry, I forgot. I don't play Superman. Sorry guys, forgive my mistake. That is the Superman input error. Oh, that is so unfortunate for Heroes, as Derpy is going to ride off the back of it. Take it anyway. Oh man, that is the. Okay, so what's? I've got a question. What is the more soul-crushing input error? Rising grab when you want to do a forward 2 from crouching, or getting a Batman up grapple point blank? I mean, surely they're both as bad as each other, aren't they?
I feel like they both make you feel the same way.
Oh.
But, unfortunately for Heroes, that is where it's going to end for him on the back of a really strong set, but wasn't meant to be today. And Derpy is going to be advancing through, which does mean that we are getting closer and closer. And I believe, is that our top 4 decided?
It is. Our top 4 is going to be. You know what, actually, I think it was a more predictable top 4 when you kind of just look at the bracket and look at previous results and stuff. Dizzy, TT, Foxy Grandpa, Orp, and Derpy. 4 players remain in this tournament, all UK. Shoutouts to the UK boys. But to be honest, only 2 of these players will actually make it to Vienna. So 2 of these players will be out with nothing except for the pride of getting top 4, which is a respectable result in itself. But I got to say, I want to say, congrats to Heroes NZ for getting as far as he did. Hopefully we get to, on a personal note, hopefully we can see you at some more hyper combo, mate, and we'll get some casuals in for NRS. And that is a tidy Superman for sure. I'm really happy of some of the gameplay that we saw today, but we'll be seeing Derpy later on.
No, it's been really good. I think the guys should be proud of themselves for basically what we've seen so far. But I think before we get too eager with the compliments in a very unbiased fashion, because we are UK boys and all that, we have a tournament to decide. And this next set is the first of the most important matches of the day, as it's going to be winners finals between Dizzy TT and Foxy Grandpa. There is a lot of history here behind these 2 players. Foxy and Dizzy are very much training partners, or they were through a lot of season 1 of Injustice 2. Of course, we know Dizzy learned a lot from Foxy, as Dizzy is a very much a younger competitor. And I know Foxy has basically kind of taught him the tricks of the trade when it comes to competitive fighting games. And you can really see it in their play. So I actually haven't seen them play in a serious match ever. So I am super excited to see this. But the most important factor by far is top 2 of today's tournament will join the other qualified players as a guaranteed qualified spot for the Vienna top 8 next week. The winner of this match is in grand finals, which guarantees top 2. Win this match, you make it to Vienna next week. Simple as that.
what a cannon matchup too. Batman versus Catwoman. And, you know, Foxy definitely starting out Injustice 2 with Catwoman because he felt like she was a very anti-meta character. Unfortunately, did not gel with that character whatsoever. And then, you know, he found his true love in Deadshot. Deadshot, unfortunately, is just hot garbage now. And he went in for Batman instead, which kind of allows him to play a similar style, heavily built around just making good reads, and then the Vortex as well.
Already we're seeing gaps being punished with interactables, but unfortunately a combo drop. I do wonder that might be something we'll be seeing a lot of this match potentially. So we know that Catwoman isn't the easiest character to combo
now,
in situation.
You want me to be honest? My money's on Dizzy here. I think Dizzy is more. I think Dizzy is more prepared for this situation. I think Dizzy's been playing more. I think he's been looking good all year. He actually outperformed Foxy quite significantly at IPS throughout the IPS this year, I believe. So, you know, I actually think this year Dizzy has kind of like almost surpassed Foxy a little bit through the fact that Foxy, you know, his attention's been diverted. He hasn't been grinding as hard. But at the end of the day, them's the breaks. Dizzy has been, and I think I rate him higher in this set.
So I think the biggest thing that might hold that prediction back is we know that Foxy is one of the best in the business at downloading an opponent or picking up one player-specific tendency. Now, considering we know they were training partners a lot last year, and we know Foxy and Dizzy would have played a lot before, I don't think there are many people around that will be able to adapt to Dizzy specifically as Foxy can. And I think that might be the biggest deciding factor here. Is Foxy, I think, is better at the player versus player matchup, but Dizzy might be a bit better at the game right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Dizzy's better at the game, but Foxy's better in tournament. That's the thing. That's the matchup right here. Good block, chip as well, being very patient. Oh, whip trip. Opening for Dizzy. And this is just round one, dude. This is just round one. I really think these are the two best players of the tournament, and this matchup
is round one, and we have 100 seconds left to go out of like 300.
Because they're both not afraid. They're not afraid to play this slow. That's like, but it's Foxy versus Foxy Jr. What do you expect?
It's like Dr. Evil and Mini-Me. Only they're really good at Injustice 2.
And oh yeah, for sure. Oh.
I mean, to be fair, where would you be honest? Foxy is definitely Dr. Evil.
Oh yeah,
like
absolutely.
Pure evil.
Entirely. If Foxy could legally change his name to Evil, he would. His first name is Denim. It would be D Evil.
And it also says devil when you look at it. So
yeah.
You're welcome, Foxy. You're welcome to the new brand. Get it on a shirt, sell it.
He got second place with Deadshot as well. That begins with a D.
Ah, okay. Still though, 89 seconds.
God,
are we gonna? Oh wait. Are we gonna see our first ever Injustice 2 timeout?
Well, Foxy's in the corner, so probably not now.
I mean,
this is Catwoman in the corner, man.
He's got bar.
Foxy just sitting there, patient.
Are we going to see? Has there ever been an Injustice 2 timeout?
I don't know. I'm looking at the health.
I've never seen one.
I'm looking at the health. I don't think we're gonna see a timeout. I think we're gonna see an opening here. Someone's gonna get opened up right now. It's gonna happen. I'm calling it. I don't think we're gonna see a timeout.
Jinxing it. 7 seconds.
No, I don't think so.
No. Foxy's in on with the clash too. But you know, he dropped the restand. Unfortunate thing to drop.
I don't know how he managed to drop that, actually. That's one of those really sort of last-minute unfortunate situations. Oh! Foxy probably expecting him to try and interrupt the back three. Here comes the back three anyway. Stagger in the back two. No commitment. Doesn't want to get punished.
This is the lowest time I think I've ever seen an Injustice match have so far, though. 50 seconds. 40.
No, we had 17 earlier.
Oh.
Too far away.
Okay, no, but no hit confirm. Doesn't get the chance to this time as Foxy clashes. Now, this is a crucial wager, and it's not an easy decision. 2-1. Foxy will get some back. Dizzy saving one bar. As he approaches the second.
God. Does Dizzy wake up? Does he wake up? Oh, no,
he doesn't. Of course he doesn't. Oh! The grab, that's not enough. That's not enough. He doesn't have bar either. Oh! The bat didn't do enough. Critical. Watch out! Oh! With punish on the back too, just like that. Foxy still ready. Down to the final moment where Dizzy's looking for the footsies, and Foxy just puts a stop to it. Back two.
You know that the crazy thing I think sums up Dizzy really well is that Dizzy, obviously there are two Dizzys in the community. There's Dizzy Nee, the original Dizzy from the MK9 days, who now works in other studios, and Dizzy TT. Now Dizzy TT, in true young gamer fashion, got his name when he played Call of Duty on Xbox 360.
Oh, did he?
He did, apparently. That was his Xbox gamer tag. And Derpy Mosquito, when he was back when he was called Derpy Mosquito, was a randomly generated 360 gamer tag.
Wow,
that was where he got his name from. That's the younger players.
Is that how to become a strong young fighting game player? Is to just randomize your gamer tag and take it?
Yes, I agree.
Amazing.
I think so.
Still though, but that was a strong game one from Foxy. I mean, it was. I think the definition of back and forth, and I would expect all. Like, I think this might be a game 5, and I would expect them all to go like that.
This could be the longest set of Injustice we've ever laid our eyes upon. Now, I mean, why is she doing that?
I mean,
building bar.
Is this just meter farming?
Yeah, clearly, for sure. Like, why are you going to the dodge? Because the Batarang's all the way up there. But obviously it is bar for...
Oh, there's a trip.
And this is a matchup we've seen Dizzy play many times. He had that unforgettably... Against small hitbox characters, 4-3 tends to cross up all the time.
It does, but I didn't realize I was going to do it from that situation. Last minute block from Dizzy. Not falling for the shenanigans.
Foxy tries to whiff punish the trait. But no, we saw an unforgettable. I think it was CEO actually. It was Dizzy versus Forever King. Last hit, last round. Dizzy was on the verge of reverse 3-0ing Forever King. So he's been behind in this matchup before. I know Forever King plays a lot more wild than Foxy does, going back to talking about the differences between Batman players. But I mean, look, Foxy, he knows Dizzy is going to fear the bat. So he just saves it all the way up until the last minute. The bat serves a purpose of just shutting down neutral. Now there's the opening. Full combo for Dizzy. Knockdown as well.
It's just one of those traits that you have to respect. When the bat is in play, you have to respect the fact that you can let it go at any time. You have no choice but to just accept that it's something you have to respect. What? So, this is a good life lead to have, considering how back and forth and how just damage trade heavy this matchup is. This is actually a substantial life lead.
Absolutely, and that's the thing, right? The closeness is they trade hits back and forth, they trade chip damage, they trade plus frames, they remain even. If one person can break away, it's instantly in their favor. So I will rate Dizzy in this matchup purely because the lead is established. Foxy will have to do so much work now just to even things up from what is just a bulletproof matchup.
Still though, he doesn't get cornered. There's a huge turn events, but that down one just going to work by itself. Foxy has plenty of bar, but hasn't got an opportunity to really do anything with it, as Dizzy's defense has just been pretty impeccable.
And when he's been vortexed, he's stepped right too. I think there's half reaction, half guess. That when he's having that really clutch difference between back and forward, he is actually, I think, reactionary going left or right. Though Dizzy has got those young man reactions. Foxy now here comes the vortex, and he blocks again. Wonderful block. That's also understanding Foxy. Realistically, if Foxy lands a hit there on the vortex, he's probably going to want to land behind because he won't want to stay in the corner. So that's like half, prediction and half guess of risk assessment.
Ooh. And the back Foxy getting chased down again. Dizzy. I think almost too much of life lead to lose at this point, but we know Foxy's got the resources. The only thing he doesn't have is the trait, and that's the biggest thing he needs. But the standing cross up again.
Small hitboxes, man. Oh, too far for down 2. Looked like he was too far away for that down 2, actually, in fact. All right, good block on the low. Yeah, Foxy does not overextend, doesn't get at the end. And now he's borderline unwinnable. He can't take anything on block against Catwoman's buttons. Whip punish! Hang on. All right, no clash from Dizzy.
Oh, another miss!
Foxy, what's going on? Surely the clash, the lifeline. If Foxy wins this, I'm going to lose. This can't be.
I mean, all Dizzy needs is bar, right? I mean, tree cat dash is chip damage almost.
Not the regular one from this
but he doesn't have a clash. Yeah, maybe not. He doesn't have the clash either anymore, so he can't afford to make a mistake. Dizzy's life remaining is literally Batman kill territory.
If Foxy hits
into a restand, into a wrong guess, that's it. Dizzy can't afford to get tagged here by anything. He has the bar, he has the bat. He's got one ready. He's got another one to summon. By the time that one connects, he's going to have another one recharged.
He has to be so patient here. Absolutely. Watch out.
Oh, mix it up!
Oh, the reaction! Oh my god, what's going on? Oh my word!
Chase down! Air tech. Can he air tech? There it is, last minute.
Really good block! Foxy, you cannot do this. Don't do this.
Oh my lord. Dizzy just, it fell through his fingers. He had the win so many times, but when it boiled down to it, Foxy just clawed his way back in. I mean, how was that comeback even possible?
I don't. It was perfect play. Foxy played that absolutely perfect. And this is why Foxy is such a legend in NetherRealm scene, right? This is if you want to know why Foxy is one of the greatest NetherRealm players of all time, that round right there is why. Like 99.9% of players in this community would not have had the stones or the patience to sit there one hit away from death. One hit away. And,
but it wasn't even
take it. One
But it wasn't
step at a
even
time.
through, I think it's perfectly fitting how here we are saying that at this life bar, this is Vortex territory. If he gets hit, any Batman could win if you get hit here and get the Vortex. But that isn't how Foxy won it. Foxy made that comeback on everything but the Vortex. He didn't need it. It was just pure outplaying in its purest form.
I want to say, by the way,
two games, man.
I want to quickly mention in chat, off that play, there's a lot of comments regarding, oh yeah, retired, okay, suggesting Foxy's been playing Injustice 2 this entire time. As two of his closest friends in the scene, you guys don't understand, he has not been grinding. It has been up and coming for the Intercontinental Championship. He tried to get back into shape for this cup, but he has not been playing the whole time. I can promise you that. Like, that is the situation. It is what it is. I'm not even saying Foxy's guaranteed. By all means, he could still not qualify. He could reverse 3-0. He almost reversed 3-0 King before. He has the stuff to get it done.
We were saying before, this is where the ability of Foxy comes in. Like, he's good at playing versus the actual player more so than the character. Dizzy's been playing more Injustice 2, but Foxy is better in this kind of situation at adjusting and making the difference, and that's what we're seeing here.
Alright, there's the knockdown. This is Calvin in the corner, where she wants to be. Oh, doesn't commit into the bats. Bit of a funny angle, might not have got the confirm. Oh my god, just very rare footage of Dizzy just getting hit by raw trait. You almost never see that.
But again, Dizzy, slight life lead, but at this point, I'm beyond thinking that even matters. I felt like it was such a huge difference early on, but the longer the set goes on, the better Foxy seems to be at just bringing it back regardless. Backdash working again. Oh, there it is. Opts not to spend the bats this time. Oh, wow. Anti-airs with the interactable.
So
One clean opening from Foxy being able to undo that work, though. One touch. And that should be the round over. Dedicated to the swing already. Really good block. Oh, wow. I don't think Dizzy wanted that, but he'll take it.
Okay, this is an opportunity. Dizzy able to build this life lead even better now. No, just to say that. It's so close to losing out. The mix-up.
Good block.
Into grab. There we go.
So many options off each touch. Batman really is the master of everything in this game, man. He has so much utility. It's almost like he's Batman. Woo. Good confirm.
Now, still a good situation for Dizzy. Foxy able to bring the life bar back, but Dizzy 100% still in the lead, and it's a strong lead at that.
That looks like a really magical... That string right there with Calvin, Dizzy hasn't really been using that in the previous games. It seems to be at least the catalyst for getting this game. Like, I know we saw the comeback last time, but I'm going to bank on Dizzy here.
Wait
maybe I
a
spoke
minute.
too soon.
Wait a minute, maybe
That's
not.
sick.
Oh no, misses the restand again. Foxy. Oh no!
Oh
no,
god!
wait.
Active frames.
Not again. What?
Foxy, wait, what's going on?
What? Foxy, what are you doing?
Oh my god. What?
Batman wins.
What?
So about that. I mean, I feel like there comes a point where Dizzy... I feel like the biggest thing there was that the closer the comebacks come to happening, the more Dizzy seems to be not super kind of like as tight as he usually is on defense. But it's also a mix of Foxy he just point blank meter and then forward dashed. I mean, how does one deal with that when your opponent is moving in such a fashion? When you have such a massive lead and your opponent starts doing stuff like that, what is a man to do? You'll get some real words out eventually. I believe in you.
No, genuinely, right? For the first time I think I've ever been commentating anything, I am genuinely speechless. I don't know. I straight up don't know what to say about that. What do you say about that? Two games.
You know what? You just gotta respect it. You just gotta respect it.
I feel like I blinked. I did the fastest blink in the known universe. And when my eyes were reopened, Foxy had won. Even though he had like... Oh, God. That's the worst. That's got to be the worst loss to take.
I mean, of course, commiserations to Dizzy for that one. Like, jeez. There's making an impossible comeback in one round. And then there's doing it again immediately after. Because they were both games that Dizzy was like, by all intents and purposes, that should have been a, right, this one's done, this game is secured, right? It should be like that. But it was, I feel like it is Foxy's ability to just be fearless, right?
Oh, yeah.
Genuinely, no matter what's going on, he will be just fearless in your face. Especially when he has games to work with. You know, he's playing the right character for it. He is the right player to do it. And he has games behind him. So even if it doesn't work out, who cares? He's up 2 games, right? What a scary situation to be in. But of course, that does mean that Dizzy is going to be knocked down to losers bracket. Foxy, of course, we haven't mentioned it yet, but that does mean that he is guaranteed into the Vienna top 8 next week, as he has got a grand finals placement, guaranteeing himself minimum 2nd place. And top 2 make it to Vienna. So we'll see you next week, buddy. Congratulations.
I mean, that is the crazy thing. And, you know, definitely to sort of like I want to sort of clarify a bit. It's not that Foxy just, you know, turned up today and played with no practice. He was grinding for this tournament for the small amount of time he knew about it. So as a matter of past couple of weeks, maybe 1 week, he's been playing on, I believe, hidden accounts just to make sure that, you know, essentially he's like, people give him games and no one's onto him, right? He's just trying to grind in secret, as some of these players tend to. But, you know, the misconception is that Foxy was basically playing the whole time, and he absolutely has not been. But that's legacy. He knows how to play Batman. He played Batman in Season 2 anyway. He's been playing Batman this year anyway. And it's just fundamentals. He's playing players he knows how to fight against. But anyway, that's enough of that matchup for now. We can't waste any time. It's Derpy versus Orp. One of these guys is going to be out of the tournament and not qualifying for the Vienna finals next week. I feel like Orp is going to be... Both these guys are hungry, right? And they've been getting better and better as each tournament has gone on. Who do I vote for? I don't know. I feel like Derpy's been playing really well, but Orp, if there is one time he's going to come out, it's now. It has to be now.
But again, we know that Derpy has more experience behind him. You know, Derpy's gone with the Black Adam. We know Black Adam is a decent pick. You know, Derpy would have 100% been preparing for Firestorm, knowing Orp was entering this tournament, so there must be a reason behind this. Orp only really plays Firestorm at this kind of level in terms of his characters, so I think it's basically going to be Firestorm or bust for him, for now at least. But it's going to be tough. You know, winner, of course, has got Dizzy waiting for them, so they know they could have a pretty tough opponent waiting on the other side. But I think these are 2 players that, again, I feel like out of the 3 players and losers, it's actually really hard to tell which of the 3 of them will get that 2nd spot.
I agree, actually, for sure. It's tricky because at the end of the day, like, there's been well, with the exception of Foxy, the non-stop grind has been real, especially with Orp. Like, that's why it's I think Orp is such a talking point for me, because of all these players, he has been the absolute most, you know, really dedicated. I want to get IPS finals. I will play every day. I will grind all the matchups. I will play in all the online cups, all the exhibitions. Orp has kind of been, I think, grinding the hardest. So this is where the fruits of his labor need to come from. Either way, let's confirm from Derpy. We've been talking about this match the whole time, and it's been so back and forth. Oh, wow. Okay. Whips entirely.
Yeah, so they wake up into just a 4-3 missing completely. Oh, that big down 2. That's going to be a huge thing in this match, though, because we know Orp has a tendency to go for those neutral jumps, especially when he's, like, dropped a combo or messes something up. He will tend to neutral jump a lot of the time. Black Adam's down 2. Going to be a great answer for that. There's the big overhead into the transition. Derpy caught not blocking correctly that time. He's going to lose a lot of life because of it. And against Firestorm, this is meter burn fireball territory. Derpy gets clipped by fireball, it's over. Even normal fireball at this point, actually.
And that's what the meter burn roll was for. And immediately answering back. That's really sick. I love that, the option just to go for the quick fireball. Derpy kind of forced into a very, very tricky position right there where, you know, you get hit by 1 fireball, you're dead, you're out of the, you know, you're out of the game. He had to go for those hard reads. And Orp just sit there patiently, picked his projectile. It was the right call. He's now going to take the first game.
Well, you know, Derpy is going to be put in a position now that they have consideration. He's going for Black Adam. He's going to go for it again this time. It does make me wonder if he would ever consider another character, but I don't know if he has any reason to. I feel like his Black Adam, it looks strong. You know, he would have been thinking about this matchup for quite a while. You know, obviously we would have known this would have been it for the entirety of Winners Finals. But Orp bringing in that strong Firestorm again. I feel like Orp's getting a little bit cleaner the longer this tournament goes on. I think that there were definite like signs of like ropiness at the start that he's not really showing as consistently now. So I feel like Orp is definitely getting more kind of, I suppose, tidier as this bracket goes on. Oh, catches the back dash with the Molten Trap.
Okay, good situation for Orp again. And wow, wake up. Lightning Cage just to say no to that instant forward dash. The thing about the Lightning Cage is that, you know, some people spend a long time saying it's not a wake-up. It definitely serves a purpose for those kind of jumping
it has invincibility off the ground, and it's a wake-up attack. It is factually a wake-up. It's just not a particularly foolproof one, you know. The invincibility lets it down, but it does launch. So, you know, it's a wake-up that... It's a balanced wake-up, in my opinion.
And there it is again. Derpy playing really, really patient. Or I think when he's down and around, or almost down and around, he's not afraid to go for those plays where he essentially, you know, it's I wake up or I don't wake up. It's like a 50-50 in itself. Forces respect. Down one, recovering so quick. The back three does not chew it up, and there's the raw low. Reset back to back. You've got to guess when that level 3 trait is active. So many overheads he gets access to when that trait is live.
That's going to be just like that, right? You know, I mean, this is one of those characters that it's so hard to count him out. Whenever Firestorm has bar, he has Vortex potential. You know, it's not just with the trait. If he has trait, it definitely helps.
Okay, back-to-back grab. Looking good. Oh, the raw dive kick.
Big storms coming now.
And I remember when that dive kick did 600 damage for a combo.
I try to forget, but I never will. Tie clash though, Derpy. This is a good life lead to have, but again against Firestorm, you can never be too careful. Attempt on the anti-air, but the air dash from Orp going to make it miss completely. And get a neutral jump with patience from Derpy. And there we go, Orp spending his only bar on that. But a drop combo from Derpy into plus frames with a back dash.
That forward one off that launch is not as easy as it looks either. Okay, there's the low. There it is, classic stuff. Disrespects those starfish. Don't count out Orp. This is Firestorm, level 3. Uh-oh. No! God! His fate was sealed the second that jump 3 was blocked.
I feel like we don't get to see that as much as we did in Season 1. I know there aren't as many Black Adam players around by now, but lest we forget the danger, the strength of Black Adam when he has that trait ready to go, locked and loaded, and you have not a lot of health left at all. Very scary character to be on the receiving end of, especially in that kind of situation. Tying things up now, does Derpy one apiece. So it's going to be Black Adam, Firestorm again. Not a huge surprise.
Fighters are
Big Metropolis this time.
For me, the big thing in this matchup is the difference between the players that we've had in this cup. We have Foxy and Dizzy TT, who were both very experienced in the IPS this year. And of course, you know, Foxy in the IPS last year was, you know, second place world championship, right? And then you have Dizzy this year, who's played in a lot of cups against a lot of top American players and more than held his own. And then you have these two players, Derpy and Orp. You know, Derpy was only able to, I believe, attend of all the events. He went to Combo Breaker, and it was half vacation as well. You know, so he was here for the only IPS I think he tasted was that one tournament. So, and the Orp has never played in a single IPS event. So this is their both. You know,
aside from the online one, unless you mean like, you know, offline majors.
Oh yeah, I'm talking offline tournaments and stuff like that. So it's interesting that we are seeing these two players collide right now, where this is kind of like this is their last chance through and through. They had no opportunities otherwise.
Oh, wake up Starfish. I feel like Orp is really good to go for that. When he sees you like potentially at like a footsie range to go in for OP, but you're not point blank. That's when he tends to go for Starfish. But, oh, hang on a minute, but then went for it straight up point blank that time. And definitely paying the price. That's going to be an easy life bar for Derpy.
Very good positioning too. He's almost got his trait, and by the time the round begins, he's now got the trait for another time. I definitely understand going for it that early. He has so much of the round left, he can build it back. I mean, it's halfway back already. Black Adam's trait, I mean, come on, it's going to be top 3 in the game.
I mean, it's a strong trait, but I feel like we're at a point that there are so many strong traits. I don't even know about top 3, honestly. I feel like there are so many good traits in the game at this point, but it's definitely a strong one.
It guarantees wins, man. I don't know. I think it's right up there for me. Oh,
big storms coming
there
now.
it is. This is looking so good for Derpy. And it's this Black Adam. I must admit, I wasn't really prepared to see Black Adam because he's been playing almost exclusively Robin when I've been seeing him play, grind, practice. I've always known he's had a Black Adam, but he hasn't really gone to it in tournaments very much. Good catch. That forward 3 hurt so good.
Oh, but a mistime string to Derpy. That's put him in the corner. Uh-oh, that actually... Oh, no. Oh.
Would like to have seen him keep the corner, to be honest.
I mean, damage is good, but positioning I think would have been more useful. Considering it's against Black Adam, when you have this much of a life bar to get back, right? I feel like it would have been important to keep the corner. But not meant to be. Oh, that chip damage is actually looking pretty tasty at this point.
Orp has level 3 stock.
Didn't finish the string. Oh no, the Palpatine.
You know that Orp was doing that thing where he saved level 3 because he didn't want to regenerate health. He wanted the opening. He wanted the touch. He wanted to pop level 3. He wanted to vortex. And looking at the health left, I understand that decision because it would have been a guess per game. 100%, he would have killed Derpy on that. He just needed to bank on himself landing the hit first, and that's the thing, right? It's now going to be 2 games in favor of Derpy. Orp, lifeline, man. This is the last chance. All of the grind, all of the game time he's been putting in, and the practice to reach this point. 1 game left, and he could be out.
The thing is, though, like I feel like we've talked a lot about Orp's grind, but I feel like that almost does a disservice. Derpy has played Injustice 2 and grinded this game basically every day since launch. You know, Derpy has some serious hours behind him on this game. He's played a lot of characters. He's played against a lot of people. Orp definitely wants this 100%, but so does Derpy. Derpy has been entering everything he can. He went to Chicago for combo break with the European guys. Like, you know, Orp wants it, but so does Derpy. And Derpy has been putting in equally as much, if not more, of a grind. So regardless, you know, even if Orp falls here, Derpy will deserve it just as much, for sure. But maybe that won't happen, as we do go down to potentially another game. Oh, big anti-air. Not sure about that from Orp. Oh, Wake Up Starfish again. I'll be honest, I'm stunned that he's going for so many of them, considering how many Wake Up Starfishes have been completely punished. But I feel like Orp is refusing to be conditioned. He wants Derpy to know, I will do this, and you have to respect it. So all it takes, with Firestorm, all it takes is you respecting the Starfish the one time he doesn't do it, and he might be able to get an opportunity out of it.
Very even on life. Oh, instant projectile, man. That last minute catch, you know it was looking for it. Dime 2, nice clean anti-air. Derpy playing rock solid.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's a lot of damage.
Oh, God, it's got to be, that feels unblockable, doesn't it?
I mean, it may as well be. You have all that chip damage or the trait damage, and then a full Reburn Lightning. That's a fast way for your life bar to just vanish.
Oh man, I'm really worried for Orp right now. He's had level 3 trait for so long, but no opportunities to spend it.
Oh, the wake up back 3! Wow, Derpy. That is such a non-Derpy thing to do, but he'll take it. What? That's the perfect time to go for it, right? If you never meet a burn back 3, why not do it? As someone's jumping out on a wake up, you know, there are worse times for sure.
I think this is. I don't want to say Orp is checked out, but this is such a mountain to climb. The shimmy. Derpy now. He's not going to take the win, but the last minute air tech unwinnable.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Bag. I mean, but to be fair, if there are unsafe characters to bag against, Firestorm, that's it. But even then, like, Orp had level 3 trait, but Derpy had Clash. Like, even if Orp found an opportunity to pop it, he could have just clashed. Oh, that was tough. But Orp, that's going to be where his Injustice Pro Series journey this year ends, unfortunately. Oh, I mean, again, like, huge congratulations for getting so far, right? Like, I feel like we have to really, you know, applaud Orp's grind and his you know, his mindset. But Derpy is going to be walking away the winner, and Derpy he puts in so much time. He's been looking for success for so long, and now he finds himself in losers finals with a slight bag at the end as well, just to I suppose assert the dominance. But that's going to be it.
I gotta say, man, Orp has had a crazy journey this year. He is absolutely one of our youngest players. I believe he's actually the same age as Dizzy TT. You know, different territories in the UK. I know Dizzy's from, you know, England. We have Orp from Scotland, but we're all the UK, right? So at the end of the day, it's from playing nothing but online to trying to compete when he can. He played in some Scottish tournaments. Obviously, one of his main training partners was Euphemism, and making the trek into Injustice EU Online Cup, moving into this Intercontinental Championship where he grinded his arse off, really. He really did. He put in so much work and he came so close. But the thing is, when these cups happen and you do get so close to absolute victory, you can't be discouraged from a loss like this. You have to, you know, keep your chin up and use the experience that you've gained throughout the year to essentially go into the next season or the next game or whatever even harder. So whatever might be next for the future of competitive NRS, I hope that we see Orp right in there day one, because his progression has been insane. And I have no doubt he will do well if he continues.
I mean, again, you know, we have to remember how tough it is to get like proper experience competitively as an international player. You know, tournaments are hard to come by, and when they are, they're normally of like considerable importance. So it's hard to you know, really kind of get regular competitive experience
because when you do compete in tournaments, it literally means the world to you as a player. So you can't afford to make mistakes, right? The pressure is always so high. So in order for him to grind as much as he has, kudos. Like you said, I hope we see more from him in the future. But moving on, we have losers finals. We know Foxy Grandpa is waiting in winners side grand finals and is guaranteed to be in a. That means there are 3 people left in this tournament: Foxy Grandpa, Dizzy TT, and Derpy. Foxy's confirmed, which means there is 1 spot left, and only Dizzy or Derpy is going to get it.
What a turn of events, man! This is the 3 remaining UK players, I think, within this level. It's kind of almost like poetic in a way. We see Foxy waiting there, 1 position left, and only Derpy or Dizzy can take it. And this is we've gone back. We've gone back into this classic match.
Yeah, this was the first game we saw of the stream today, and there was a 3-1 to Dizzy off of. I mean, again, it was a fairly one-sided set toward the end, but Derpy was playing really well at the start. The problem is, as mistakes were made, Derpy would kind of like crumble with them. However, he's been playing really well and is riding off the back of some momentum against Orp, so you know he's going to be feeling himself a bit more now.
That's always the thing when you go into losers finals, right? And you've kind of gone in from the loser side, you're arguably a little bit more warmed up. I know that said, Dizzy, he's probably sitting there in training mode, is the nature of online competitions. You can practice while you wait. But that said, things are just as even to begin with. Sitting there and holding the plus frames, good knowledge, but just getting clipped by the low. And because we're on the Rock of Eternity, so many territories to plant bombs and to reset. Excellent block. Even better, nice reactionary forward 3 block as well. Derpy just needs to just get rid of it. Get rid of it.
He spent a bar too, just to make sure. To make sure that those gaps aren't going to be punished as hard as it was before.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, no anti-air from Dizzy. Oh, the patience! Look at that, just walking him down.
There are so many of these like really clutch moments, like empty jumps into like low and all that stuff, because I think once you understand the footsie range of a bunch of these buttons, and you can stay just outside the magic range, you're not really going to get like traditional anti-airs.
Wait a minute. What? Oh, but no, Derpy, he didn't finish the string. I think he didn't want to accidentally have it whiff and die for it.
If you drop that combo there, you're out in the open.
Oh, push block.
Push block. I was convinced he was going to detonate that.
Oh, wake up backdash, does get chased down. Derpy's still back to the wall.
Okay.
Oh, there it is again.
Oh, God.
That was actually
probably convinced that was not going to work.
That was a key thing in their match of winners, though, was Dizzy just going for those neutral jumps in a position that you would normally see Robins go for down 1-2 and just getting punished on the way down. Problem is, if you just do an empty one, you're just going to get down 2 like that. They're starting to play that kind of that rock paper scissors game. If you neutral jump and I don't press a button, I anti-air you. But if I do, you get the punish. And again, making Dizzy stick out and commit to less down 1-2s.
So much pressure again. No meter burn. We just want to keep positioning. Because Dizzy, he does know this matchup pretty well. He is so versed in it. So a lot of the time when Derpy sticks out a button, there's a reason that Dizzy is just outside its magic range and can react. Or at the very least, get his turn to jump to do something on block. Like right now, he's going to be so content. Robin at high level can't really mix you up. He is entirely about footsies, catching you pressing a button, making a really good read. Like Robin is not a mix machine. He has good damage, but he has good damage because he has to really work at the highest level to properly open you up.
Yeah, but even then, like, opening up is by conventional means not too impossible. As obviously, he connects a down 1, it's going to go into 40%.
Exactly. Not very few characters can get the damage of a down 1 that he can.
Yeah, exactly. And the fact that every touch will turn into some kind of OT means that going for wake ups is hard against him, or traditional kind of defensive means. The Butterang puts a lot of that down. Oh no, Derpy wasn't confident, didn't commit, and there's a reversal throw Dizzy. Off a very slow-paced game 1 is going to be taking it.
Okay, and this is the kind of matchup we expected to see though, because I don't even think this is just Dizzy playing this matchup. This is Robin versus Catwoman. This is how slow it goes, because they have a very similar game plan. It's footsie based, it's button based. It's not going to be open you up with the craziest 50-50 known to man or zone you out all game. This is 2 characters that are entirely built around patience.
So I feel like this is going to be a big decision for Derpy to make, because he's stuck with Robin the entire time on winner's side, but has done, to be honest, most of his success today with Black Adam. But of course, loser's side, he's only got 2 games to work with before not qualifying for Vienna. I mean, this character choice right here is going to be make or break.
Black Adam.
He's going to go Black Adam.
I mean, to be fair, we understand the decision, right? Derpy, he's been trying Robin. As far as at the end of the day, it's not been a completely one-sided match, but it's not been working. If he has another character ready to go, at this stage, he has to bet it on something. And if he has a strong Black Adam, which we've already established, he's defeated, so many players in this bracket with Black Adam alone, I go for it, especially in this situation.
Oh wow, he's going to tag by full string. Yep, he's going to spend the first bar he just built. Not a problem. Ooh, damn. Big damage to open up. That's a big life lead to sit on.
Whenever you look at that much damage from post-patch, you dread to think how much it would have done pre-patch. Like, my word, this character has like a truck. Oh, down 1, Rising jumped in. Moments away from that jump 2 connecting.
Oh wow, just sticking out the Palpatine and footsies.
Okay, yep. I don't think Derpy was confident about the height. The second you play more Black Adam, you start to get a little bit of optimization. But wow, Dizzy so confident that Derpy was going to down 1 into lightning hands. He was already ready for the back 3 meter burn. That is this next level of matchup knowledge. The smallest button in the world you can answer back with. Just denied the plus frames, opt the trait just for some real estate. I agree with it.
Just being careful. Oh wow, Derpy trying to find the opportunity, but just gets hit out. The trait completely wasted. And just like that, Derpy had almost an entire life bar lead, and it's just completely disappeared. And the wake-up lightning cage, not going to work in a million years. Dizzy is going to beat it out clean.
Okay, answering back. One small opening after one another. I love the way Dizzy plays.
Oh, I like that.
He is so content chipping away.
Oh wow, another throw. Derpy is just getting completely overwhelmed. And just like that, we haven't seen a huge, substantial opening from Dizzy, but we haven't needed to. So like you said, he's been chipping him down 1 hit at a time and is content doing that. Especially as Derpy now left without a trait. He only really gets the chance to move forward if he has the trait ready to go, unless he's getting whiff punish.
All right, grab. I like it. So many of these grabs connect in this low level of play because I think both players are content taking the damage. They would rather take a grab's worth of damage and reset to neutral than try and take a grab and just eat a full Black Adam combo or Catwoman into corner carry into crazy pressure. And oh, okay, immediate clash.
You look best, it's fine.
It's almost like these two players are playing for a spot of Vienna or something. Look at how much care is going into every decision.
But they need to, and that was a great time to clash for Dizzy. And again, a down 1 interrupt.
Why resist
Dizzy
the
with the
inevitable?
knowledge immediately, and Derpy unfortunately falling for it twice now. Has no choice.
What's normally, when you block lightning hands, because forward 1 for Black Adam is so fast, lightning hands on block is actually a decent opportunity for him, and no way tries to poke with lightning hands right as Dizzy jumps, and this should be a 2-0 unless Derpy does something crazy to turn it around. But with the rock solid defense of Dizzy, I just don't know if he's going to be able to do it. He's just sitting there blocking the entire thing, and there's the interrupt. Derpy trying to do things back to back. And down to one final game, Mustard. Are we going to see Dizzy and Foxy qualifying for the US, or is Derpy going to reverse 3-0? Someone who has already defeated him in tournament.
I mean, it's going to be tough. I feel like Derpy, he has the skills. It's just, I feel like Dizzy is just playing that next step above right now. And I feel like that's not a knock to Derpy. It's just a question as to how strong Dizzy has been today. I think Dizzy has been gunning for this. I think we have to reflect. Even though Derpy was at Common Breaker and competed, Dizzy has been to numerous IPS events this year and has consistently found himself just outside of points territory, right? Or 9th. It's been 9th or just outside of points. Dizzy has not had the results he would want to have, considering how strong of a player we all know he is. The community is very much aware of how strong Dizzy is. We know he wants to make it in the IPS finals, and to be honest, I would love to see him there. I think, if he can win the Intercontinental Championship and get that guaranteed, he could be by far one of the biggest dark horses of the entire tournament. But in his way are just some simply incredible players, and Derpy is the one stopping him from making it to Vienna. I think it's
one more game.
Oh wow!
Oh my
down
God!
1. He knows the down 1 to catch the forward 1.
It was back-to-back down 1s though. I think Dizzy whiffed the first one, knowing he'd do it again, and Derpy actually not afraid, going for it a second time in a row. Definitely a fool me once kind of scenario there. But Dizzy off to an amazing start. Okay, opens him up. Derpy, he has to land every combo, he has to nail every setup. Do not make a single mistake, my friend, because this game is everything.
Next time I'll steal your heart.
Okay, there it is, pressure again. Derpy, plus frames, instantly answering back. There's the good clash there on the interactable. I like it.
And the patience neutral jump, but again, Derpy found himself in this exact same situation last time. And it did not end well.
No!
Oh, it worked! It worked!
I can't believe it worked!
For literally the first time today. Rejoice!
Oh god. I will agree. I will agree. But he's still not in an amazing position. The delayed jump too, okay, catches it a little bit. And now the pressure for Daze. Wonderful block from the cross-up. Push blocks to keep Derpy in this position.
Oh my god! Why is that a thing that is happening now? Wake up forward dash out of the corner into trip guard. This is just galaxy. The scene has evolved to galactic levels.
I feel like it's because a lot of wake up jumps are popular, and if they're gonna jump in, right, and you've got a really quick recovering forward dash, if they jump and you can reverse the position and put them in the corner, that's not actually a bad decision to make. However, even with the low life Dizzy has, he is on match point here. If he can pull off this master comeback and win this game, he's going to defeat Derpy and qualify for our final to Vienna next week. Derpy desperately needs this just to stay alive.
Oh, punish! Easy, Derpy. Gonna drag that one back, and one of the first punishable moves that Dizzy's done this entire time. I think that really is a testament to the way Dizzy plays, though. That's one of the first times we've ever seen Cat Dash used in a situation that it can even be blocked, you know? I think it's because he spent most of the time with a life lead where he hasn't really been put in a situation to make those kind of decisions.
Well, either way, I think that match was everything for Derpy. Because that wasn't one of those close games that you kind of just, sneak by. That was assertive, 100%, through amazing decision. We talked about how when you're on this kind of reverse 3-0 situation, where that's what you have to do to win, and essentially, you can't make a single error in that situation. The smallest combo drop where you lose positioning or setup or whatever gives them the neutral that Dizzy is playing around so well. Derpy needs to kind of just keep that train of momentum. Black Adam does do some of the highest damage. He really is kind of within the top range of conversion into big damage in the game. And if you can keep it going, all the power. Yeah, good trade. No first hit just yet. Oh, so much chip damage. Wonderful positioning there, knowing the jump's too far away. So much spatial understanding from Derpy. This is some of the cleanest gameplay I think we've ever seen from him. I think a lot of that, part of it might be timidness because there is so much on the line in this set. He has historically had issues closing out sets. I wonder if this is going to be another one of those times, Mustard.
I guess we'll see soon. Derpy's having a pretty strong start already. 3 bars built somehow, too. Black Adam's a machine. What a whiff punish. Tried to get the background bounce.
Oh, no.
Another time.
Oh, God.
That's 2 times he tried for the background bounce. 2 times he failed. And look at the life that Dizzy still has left.
He's not confident in his height either. I know part of that is Catwoman being pretty small, but he can't convert into a full combo off that meaty burn dive kick.
I think it was
this should be the round.
Airborne when she was caught, so they're able to get a full thing. But it has given Derpy a strong lead. The big thing for Derpy is just he needs to avoid the corner. Both games he lost to Black Adam, he basically got put to the wall, and that was it. Or, I should say the game he lost. Or the life bar. Whenever it doesn't go his way, it's usually just back to the wall. And that's where he seems to struggle the most in this matchup. Uh-oh, and that's where we are. And Dizzy just walking him to it. Oh, dear.
Oh, wake up down one. Yep, he tries to interact. All good. Block on the overhead. Knocked down again, Dizzy. Still not really in a favourable position, but he should get some guaranteed chip here, which he does manage to achieve, and he has a lot more bar too. Catwoman, she has such amazing meat build. Derpy, still in the fight.
Oh, no SMT that Derpy's not at all risking it. I feel like there are some situations that the down 2 is almost guaranteed though. I'd like to feel a bit more confidence, but I can kind of understand. All it takes is one misplaced down 2 and it's over. Okay, there's
grab
again.
He's been going for very little grabs off that, so actually kind of good that he's saving it for the last minute. He's knowing that Dizzy's going to block it. Wow! He must have tried to add,
oh, wow.
Let's not forget.
I can't be tamed.
This is straight up read here. This clash. They're going to do this 4 bars apiece. 3-2.
Oh! God, this is so close. Let's not forget, match point for Dizzy if he wins this. Oh! Interruption! Derpy, if he gets shimmied one more time.
He has the trade.
Down 1. Yeah, guaranteed chip, but that's it. Wonderful block on Dizzy. Catches the mid, but it's not enough. Oh my god. This is so crazy.
On the whip back
so
3! Whiff punish with a throw. Derpy still looking for it. Still blocking the cross up again. Wow, the shimmy! The shimmy into the shimmy! Derpy with the next level call out. He shimmied his own. Wait, have you ever seen a man shimmy a shimmy before?
Black Adam wins.
I think that might be a first. To be honest. But What is going on? A reverse 3-0 in the making. This is last game. Dizzy made it look easy in those first 2 matches, and Derpy just waking up, man. This is all to play for. The last qualifier for the Intercontinental Championship. In many ways, you know, when you compare this to Liga Latina 2, one of the last tournaments we will ever see in the IPS 2018, and it's going down to the final game. I don't know how to call this one, man.
This is I would have said,
I would have put Dizzy right at the top of my list, who I think is going to win this match. But Derpy just waking up, and it's a combination, I think, of almost like a reverse of what we saw in the start, where it's now Dizzy he's not able to close it out, Mustard. What's going on?
I mean, it's hard to say. I feel like A for a start, Derpy is a Black Adam is really on point. Like he has just been making the right decisions. The biggest thing that's holding Derpy back is his defense looks a bit ropey. When he is like forced in a situation where it's back to the wall, he hasn't got mobility on his side. It's just straight up you're blocking. And Catwoman is a hard character to block against, so you can't really fault him too much for that. I feel like Derpy, he's avoiding that situation entirely. It's so much more in these last couple of games, but this is it. This is game 5. We were talking before about how Dizzy, was looking to be it, and a reverse 3-0 was needed, and we didn't expect it. But Derpy is just he's putting us to shame for sure, as he's on the verge of bringing the comeback.
To me, Dizzy, he's going for, he's like that immediate down 2 anti-air, something we haven't really seen the entire time. He is definitely waking up now. He's just being faster, more responsive, more aggressive. He's enforcing plus frames, the backdash immediately into interactable. Like Dizzy, when he plays a really strong Catwoman, this is the most aggressive we've ever seen him play. And he gets caught by the low. All the way, neutral jumps into more pressure. Gets hit by the grab, yes, but he's done so much damage. In that one sequence, the wake up! Dizzy just saying, you know what, mate? Nah, I'm shutting this down immediately.
I think that's the first time I've actually seen him go for that wake up as well. So just saving it for a rainy day. This is when it gets the rainiest. And he's potentially 1 game away from bringing this. At the same time, maybe not. Derpy, he's desperate for that time, and Dizzy, you see him. Wow, the cat dash even traded. Wow, so close.
Okay, Dizzy just needs 1 more round, and basically 3/4 of the health bar up as well. This is match point. Another down to Anya, gets the trade, full combo. We didn't really see anti-airs before. That's one thing about Dizzy. He's always been so timid to anti-air when the chips are down, and now he's going for it every time. Counter's down 2, no joke. Catches the final hit and just relentlessly rushing down. Tries the lightning cage as well, and he's potentially throwing it away with the wake-ups.
Things looking bad for Derpy though. He's got the bar on his side, but oh no, hang on a minute, there we go. No, he drops the combo.
But that's why he hasn't been going for the forward one, because she's so small. Okay, match point both players, but I'm eyeing up that meter, Mustard. 3 bars versus Derpy's 1. I just don't know if it's possible.
But Dizzy doesn't have any trait though. That's something. Derpy, there's the dive kick. That was his last bar.
Yeah.
He has nothing else.
Oh!
Throw again, Dizzy. Yeah, not going for the tech. Oh, that wake up. Caught out by Derpy, but a good crash from Dizzy. No reason not to. It's guaranteed life.
Now, I think, and that's it. He now knows he can save the bar. He has so much resources to kill. Meter burn back 3s and forward 3s. That now means from this health, he cannot do down 1 shocker anymore. If he goes for a down 1 shocker, Dizzy should kill him. Oh my god. All right, wait a second. 1 hit at a time. Patience. Push block the damage though.
Derpy has so low on resources here though. Trying to get some damage with the trait, but not prioritizing. Can't afford to run into anything too much.
Oh, the airware! Derpy, I mean, yeah. Oh no, he had no choice.
He had to. This is going to put him down to Magic Pixel, but he had no choice but to clash. If he got a cat dash, that was going to be it.
I think he's dead. I really do.
He's got no trait either.
Oh, he's got nothing.
Oh, he's going in.
No. Oh, wait a second.
Wait a minute. No bar.
Meter back 3, didn't connect.
Oh no, the down 1! All it came down to was a down 1 from Dizzy in the final moment. Just like that, Derpy, I mean, I'll be honest, that looked like it was going to be a losing battle the whole time for Derpy in that last game. It went from bad to worse, but near the end, he came so close to pulling it back, slowly but surely, but literally just came down to a down 1. Close, but not close enough. Dizzy is going to be eliminating Derpy, going into Grand Finals loser side, which solidifies that our top 2 today is going to be Foxy Grandpa and Dizzy. Now, the question is, we have to play Grand Finals, and the final question is, what seeding are we going to get? So if you win today, you get preferred seeding in the finals. So even though these guys have both qualified, this is now the final challenge, because if they win today, they get better seeding in the Vienna. So it's still very much an important set to play for sure.
that was, I think, you know, as someone who knows all of these guys really well, that's got to be the most bittersweet way a match can go. That Derpy was on the verge of a reverse 3-0 against one of the absolute strongest players in Europe, without a shadow of a doubt. And he brought it all the way. Final round, what was, we'll say, final hit, given those circumstances. But unfortunately, just wasn't meant to be. You know, Dizzy just doing what he's, I think, otherwise struggled to do, which is close out a set. So we'll be seeing Dizzy moving on. The grand finals, as you just said, will be deciding seeding, which is very important, actually, given the competition that will be at Vienna next week. So the grand finals is important, but the important thing today was finding out which 2 players are going to qualify, which makes Foxy Grandpa on winner's side, and of course, Dizzy TT on the loser's side. Huge commiserations for Derpy, man, for getting as close as he could have gone. It's unfortunate he couldn't close out that final game, but it's bad for one and good for another, isn't it? That's the nature of competition. So I think
this tournament, someone's got to win.
Yeah, he can be proud of the journey he's had, I think, this year. Like, he really has been, the grind has been so real. And
wait,
I'm glad to see.
Does Dizzy want Deadshot? Is that what he's asking for?
But I don't think Foxy's going to give him Deadshot because he knows... Wait, no way.
I mean, no, there's no reason to, right? You're still playing for grand finals. You're still playing for seeding.
This is still an important match. I wouldn't throw it away with Deadshot. To be completely honest.
I mean,
oh my god.
The thing is, Foxy is the kind of guy that would always want a pocket Deadshot for certain matchups. I don't know why Dizzy is playing it.
I know Dizzy can play Deadshot because actually back last year they both played this character. But not exactly sure what this is about. Either way, it's gonna be a Deadshot mirror to start the grand finals. To be fair, these guys know each other really well, so I don't know the reasoning behind this pick. But to be completely honest, you know, I think they're both qualified at this stage, but this is still important. This is still important games to play.
Well, I mean, like, it's like I said before, right? Like, Deadshot is not a very strong character, but he seemingly has a place for certain counter-pick situations, right? Like, Deadshot still does what Deadshot does, but only against certain characters. I don't know why they'd play the mirror. Like, truly, I don't, but it's what they've chosen, so I guess we'll just roll with it.
Indeed. All right, the back one's going to whiff. There's actually, I don't think we've really seen much Deadshot mirrors this year at all. The character definitely dropped off when the nerfs took place. I will only assume this will be game number 1. There's no way they're going to stick with this the entire time. And actually, this is what an ultimate throwback this is. We did see Foxy go in with Deadshot of the anality against Tuller Prime. Unfortunately, didn't go so well for him. Tuller Prime took that win, forced him onto Batman, where we were starting to see the verge of a comeback, but the games given up with Deadshot were too severe, I think.
But that's it, right? Like, if you seriously want to have Deadshot in your arsenal, you need to play him in competitive environments, right? You still need to be ready with him. You still need to understand, you know, how to play the character in the tournament. You know, there is a very different kind of mindset you have to approach the character. But Foxy, bringing this one back, was a little bit down on life, but not so much anymore. Oh, a clean jump out into a full combo. Wow, yep.
Don't want to kill yourself, do you?
I think at least Foxy spends a bar here to stop the health regeneration, right?
You know,
There's no reason to give him
Deadshot's
the life lead.
for sure, no, unless he wants to save it. Yeah.
No expensive both.
The thing about Deadshot, though, is that there are actually some matchups that he still does pretty well in, I believe. Like, I'm pretty sure matchups like Dr. Fate, it's said that Deadshot still does pretty well against some of the characters that he gave a hard time previously. So I don't think Deadshot has completely fallen off the game entirely, but I think he has the smallest place a character can have.
I think it depends on how hard Deadshot beat those characters, right?
All right, change, please.
Like, if Deadshot mauled them before, then, you know, nerfs are nerfs, but if he absolutely annihilated them, then he will still have certain, you know, have a place some way in terms of just utility alone.
This was a weird way to start grand finals, in my opinion. Because obviously now Foxy has to go to it.
Yeah, Foxy has to
straight back. But actually, if he beats Dizzy with Deadshot in the grand finals now, it's going to be weird because we know Dizzy plays a really good Catwoman, and surely not. To be honest with you, I will be completely honest. If he wants to throw away his seeding, then so be it. Like, at the end of the day, like, this is not the end of the fight.
But the thing is, it's a huge mistake because if, like,
Dizzy is making a huge mistake.
Yeah, this is a big mistake, a huge mistake. Because if Dizzy throws this away and is basically just accepting second seed, then, I mean, he's literally just going to get a number 1 seed in the finals. That's the whole point. I don't understand why you would go through so much effort to qualify for the finals just to do this when you're playing for seeding, you know?
Begin.
Well, either way, it is what it is, right? Like, but at the end of the day, both of these players have qualified. It's going to be a matter of seeding, and like, we can't stress enough how important seeding is in Vienna, because only one player is going to qualify for the IPS via Intercontinental Championship. And there's the we have Tekken Master, we have Shark Teeth, we have Waz, we have the Basic. We have K-Top, who plays a plethora of really strong characters as well. Foxy's in the lineup. I don't understand why you would throw away your chance at a better seed going into that tournament, because you're basically putting yourself in an unfavorable position unnecessarily. Like, I mean, I have no doubt they can both play this. I mean, you can clearly see they both know how to play this character. Like, it's definitely a character the two of them play. But this is, I just don't think the matchup they should be playing, in my opinion.
Well, the thing is, I mean, at the end of the day, like, these guys will know why they're playing this, right? Why they're picking this. So, it's not for me to judge their character choices, but I can question the intent behind it. Because I feel like this is a matchup that you don't need to be ready for in season 2. I feel like obviously be as ready as you can, absolutely, but Deadshot v Deadshot is not something you will be ready, especially the Intercontinental Finals. And even then, like, I don't know, I find it confusing. I can kind of see, I can still see why Foxy will play this, because I know that Foxy, like, even back when he still played this, like, as like his main game, right? It was his #1 thing. He still had access to a pocket Deadshot for matchup. But
I will say for sure, like, this is definitely not a Foxy thing in my opinion. He's definitely even used Deadshot in the IPS. He used it against Katana Prime with Biennality. Ultimately, it didn't go particularly well. But he's used this character in the IPS before. It's actually Dizzy picking this character that's confusing me the most. Either way, we get to see a little bit of Season 1 and Season 2.
Fundamentally, it is what it is. And to no surprise, it's looking, actually, again, pretty even. Then again, this was always a bit of like a back and forth match, right? It was always one of those very kind of uncomfortable matches to play, in the sense that it's two extreme zoners with literally the exact same tool. So it was very much a question of almost like chicken, right? From those full screen options back when it was like wrist shot or ground shot or rifle. But Dizzy's actually tying things up, one game apiece.
Well, okay. So it's going to be 1-1. I will assume Foxy will change characters here. I know he's actually confident in the mirror, though. He is confident in the Deadshot mirror, but he does play characters that do well. I'm going to assume automatically that he does not have a Catwoman for this matchup. But at the same time, he plays Batman. I know Batman does totally fine versus
Superman.
Deadshot. I know Foxy himself, though, has done very well.
Deadshot.
Yeah, he's gone for Batman now. Foxy has done very, very well in this matchup on the opposite side. I know, actually, I think one of the players he was able to defeat the most consistently was Forever King. Deadshot versus Batman, Season 1. I believe that was actually the matchup Foxy was able to win to qualify via Last Chance, I think, if the memory serves me correctly.
Well, I know he definitely, I don't remember the specifics on that one, but I know it historically has done well in this matchup on the other side. But it never really needs to play it the other way around, because he had his team last year as Deadshot Batman, and didn't really need it to be the other way around, right? Because he wouldn't play, like, if he fought a Deadshot player, he would basically just give them the mirror, and that would be it. So it's actually quite curious to see how he's going to handle this one.
Well, he's going to be patient for now. And the one big thing is Deadshot, he's never really done damage, even in the corner. That was adjusted to anyway. So I do think I would favor Batman in this matchup for the sole reason of Deadshot's going to have to work completely just to keep Batman away from him. And on the flip side, Batman on every touch will do more damage than Deadshot could ever dream of. So I would definitely say in this matchup I favor Foxy. Also understanding that he knows exactly how to fight Deadshot. If there's something that's not a mix-up, Foxy will block it. He has got some of the underratedly best defense in NetherRealm games through just knowledge alone.
Especially a character like Deadshot, right? Deadshot does actually still have true 50-50s. It's just a question of he doesn't really get a lot of damage off of them. And Deadshot's not the kind of character that will put himself in a situation to use them regularly, especially against a character like Batman. Foxy's gonna know that as he gets a combo off of the bat.
Again, it kind of goes, to me, it goes back into the reasoning of Dizzy, who basically challenged Foxy into going Deadshot for the mirror. Definitely Dizzy does not have a bad Deadshot. We can clearly see he understands this character. But that said, this situation favors Foxy because, again, Batman does totally fine versus, especially post-patch Deadshot. So my thinking is that in this matchup right here, we can clearly see that Foxy, he has more resources, he can be totally patient, he's not getting opened up close range, he can whip punish when need be, and he does more damage. If he won these first 2 games and then Dizzy lost, and then Dizzy won the the 3rd game or something, Foxy could just go Batman in a best of point. Like, we'll see what happens here.
Well, that's going to be the life bar. Dizzy spending his only bar on it, but managing to take it anyway. Definitely not a bad trade. But the thing is, if this was pre-patch, I would definitely think that it's like, dead even or potentially had the opportunity to be a really close game. But I feel like to win with Deadshot in this kind of matchup now, you really do have to outplay your opponent. Because you don't get the damage you used to, you don't get the meter you used to. So all around, it's just harder to do what Deadshot used to do. And that's not even taking into account the slower gunshots they give. I know Batman received some adjustments too, but Batman still does Batman.
For sure, and the clash there, very deliberate from Foxy. He knows Deadshot does no damage, so when you clash Deadshot, it's mostly just to keep positioning. Nice catch on the bat, plus a bajillion on
the shots are getting closer.
And now, even after this clash, you've clashed Deadshot, Dizzy's back is still going to be to the ball. If he spends nothing, we might see a meter burn roll, just to try and escape the corner. But he's going to have to make a really good decision here. Goes in for the back one, because there's more range. Foxy, very rarely point blank, so the forward two is not a threat. Okay, catches him. Conversion. Deadshot, very good at having his back against the wall, it has to be said. Okay, there's the bat, shuts him down. Full combo punish. Foxy has basically a guess for game sequence incoming. Here comes the Vortex. Just builds the bat at the last minute.
The push
good block
before the bat comes out.
Yeah, good block. Right. Nice backdash. Dizzy can still win this. He's got no resources.
That's it. He doesn't have the bar to air tech. This Foxy drops this, which he won't. That's going to be the last hit, and Dizzy now down 2-1 in this grand finals. 1 game away is Foxy from securing top seed today, being the final top seed in the Continental Championship. But I will be honest, there's actually a really clean Deadshot coming out from Dizzy. I don't know how much he's played Deadshot in the past, but it actually looks pretty tidy.
We know, I mean, look, at the end of the day, we know that these guys have a lot of history because it is teacher versus student, right? That's basically what this is. You know, Dizzy has had such a progression this year. The reason he plays so clean and he plays so calculated is because he has taken exactly after Foxy's game plan. Now, as you saw from there, they both play Deadshot. They both clearly had a good Deadshot. I just think baiting Foxy into going for that, that first match of the Deadshot mirror was a bad idea because it gave Foxy a favorable counter pick game, because he has more games now. He was free to go in with Batman whenever he wanted. He does really, really well versus Deadshot. Catwoman versus post-patch Deadshot was good too. I kind of expected Foxy to win game 1 and then Dizzy just go Catwoman. He went for Deadshot again. Yes, he won that game, but he's almost very fortunate he won because he should have gone Catwoman instead, I think.
I think it would have been a smarter idea, but it's not what happened, right? Dizzy was able to take that game. Oh, no, let go on the bat. Oh, doesn't need to.
Right, Vortex, good block. That was smack bang in the middle. That was a very good block from Dizzy.
Hey man, those young man reactions, even online, we'll be able to get them. Oh, spending an air tech. I'm actually not sure about that air tech because Foxy didn't actually have a bar, so he couldn't go for the restand. But Dizzy, regardless, isn't going to fall for it, but still takes damage anyway. Gets hit practically straight away.
No confirm because he has no bar. Just going for the knockdown instead. Good block. With no bats, there's no reason you would ever go for that slide in that situation. Unnecessary risk, and Foxy easy jump 2 on the end of that. Tournament point for Foxy Grandpa now. If he wins this game, he is going to be the winner's side winner for the Vienna top 8. After then it'll be double elimination. It's going to be a matter of seeding, not immediate, losing to winners. But it's a great situation for Foxy to be in right now.
Yep, absolutely. Oh, there's missed. No! One input error for another. Unfortunate turning, but that's what happens. Foxy though has 2 bars and a trait. The overhead gifting again. Oh, that wake up interactable. Oh, 2 for 2. I mean, you can see the similarities between them though, right? You can understand that these are 2 guys that have played this game a lot together over the last year. But forward dashing, just straight up getting hit by the bat. Foxy will take that. There's a restand. Guess. What's up?
Oh, finally, Guess is wrong, but he has got a crash to undo the damage. Stop the bleeding just a little bit, but he's still substantially behind here.
The thing is, Dizzy doesn't have a clash anymore, and he's got no bar either. This is a really tough situation to come back from, considering how explosive Batman can be. All it takes is one good sequence, and that's going to be it. Curtains for Dizzy. Uh-oh, that might be it. Oh, he has
reset.
1 more bar. He's going to build another one.
Vortex.
Okay.
Oh, I guess it's wrong.
Is that enough? Is that enough? Yes,
a bar. It is. He's dead. He's dead.
Oh, that's it. Chip damage.
See you later, mate.
Oh, push block. There's only chance. Hang on.
He's going to get a bat soon. He's so minus. He needs to do what Foxy did to him. Maybe it's possible, but this is Batman.
No, overhead. Maybe. Oh! Barry! All came down to it. And let it be known the final move done in this tournament was the parry, and it worked. And that's going to be Foxy getting first place today, winning the tournament from winner's side. No reset in this grand finals, and he's going to be securing himself top seed at the finals next week in Vienna. Of course, congratulations to both these players, as the important thing by far was the important thing was getting yourself into the grand finals, but of course it's still a matter of seeding, right? So finally it is important for Foxy to get the win, but of course congratulations to both of them.
Well, either way, I can only assume that the dead shot pick there was to try and go into a better counter pick situation. We know that Dizzy has basically played those game plans against Tekken Master in the past, where he's gone for a very specific first game pick with the anticipation of essentially Tekken Master, back when he did that in the Online Cup, Tekken Master picking a different character. And if Dizzy won that first game, he would have essentially had the advantage in that game of counter picks. So I can only assume what happened in the grand finals was that Dizzy wanted to essentially use dead shot on Foxy first to get the mirror, confident he would win the mirror, so that then he would be one game up. So if he lost, he could go to Catwoman and then change accordingly to get that game up. Unfortunately, by losing the first game, I really feel like he kind of stacked the odds against himself. And betting the entire tournament on beating Foxy in the Deadshot mirror was a pretty big ask, I think. So I don't know. I think I can sort of understand the method in it in hindsight. Now, we had an entire series to kind of soak it in. It's not like it was just a mindless gunshot fest. There was definitely some calculations there. But trying to beat Foxy in the mirror when he was basically the guy that invented that character last year, I don't know. I don't think that was a good idea personally. But the important thing is that he's qualified for the finals next week.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and that's going to be, of course, in Vienna next Saturday. It's going to be a live event, so it won't be online. It's going to be done in person. All the players will be flown in. So now that means we are confirmed. Let's just reflect for a few minutes about the players we have confirmed as they got first and second in their respective regional tournaments. And here we are. Australia was the first. First place was Wasminator, and second place was Gilbags. We then had Europe East, which of course Greece, Russia, CIS, all those kind of places. We had K-Top from Greece taking first place, and Do Basic with his Enchantress getting second place. Last Sunday, we had the Middle East, of course, Tekken Master first place, Shark Teeth second. That's exactly what we were all expecting. And today, finishing things off, it was first place Foxy Grandpa and second place Dizzy TT. So that's a strong 8-man bracket, if ever I've seen one. And I think, in my opinion, a perfect representation of what International Injustice 2 is looking like right now.
Yeah, I would agree with you 100%. And, I actually kind of think it's nice that we're going to get the perfect blend of what outside of North American Injustice looks like. And I think you guys at home tuning into the stream right now, us sitting here talking about the matches, everyone behind the scenes, NetherRealm, we're all in for a treat. And I'm really excited for this top 8. Like there's a lot of anticipation coming from it. And truly, a lot of these players could make it all the way. They really, really could. There's going to be some big killers there, but they can definitely be defeated. We've seen defeats in tournament before from some of these guys. So it's unpredictable, in my opinion. And there are so many storylines going on at once. It'll be hard to say. Either way, I believe that's basically going to be everything we have time for, right? Is there anything you want to say before we sign off?
No, I think we've pretty much covered everything. Of course, thank you very much for those of you watching at home that have enjoyed this tournament today. It's been a really good one and a good result. I think this is exactly what Europe needs going into representation towards the later part of the year. And I've been really impressed with the gameplay today. Of course, congratulations to all the guys that have qualified so far. But of course, that's going to be it from us for now.
Brilliant. So with all things said and done, thank you very much for watching as always. We appreciate you guys' support, tuning in week after week, finding out what's going on in the world of competitive injustice. And we're not over. There's so much left to go. Liga Latina, I'm really actually interested about Liga Latina. Find out who's going to be playing there. Intercontinental Championship finals will be next week, finding out which of these players gets that direct ticket to the Injustice Pro Series finals. And of course, East Coast Throwdown. We have a last chance qualifier to play out there as well. So we're not completely set in stone for our qualified players, and we are just weeks away at this stage from finding out who's going to be at the finals in Chicago in November. My name is Ketchup. I've been joined by Mustard, as always, on commentary here for the Intercontinental Championship. Thank you for watching, and we will see you next week.